Catch up here for about 2 weeks now. Let's see, not a whole lot to report. 1 second. Had a shoulder issue. Still got it. It's getting better. I went to got some treatments from this lady in the cities that I usually go to. She's a miracle worker of some sort. But also they've got this new computerized activator method. Chiropractors used to use this activator. Now they've got it computerized where it's actually can actually feel the pressure on my body and can actually give indications. It's amazing. I'm kind of falling in love with it just with one try. So hopefully that makes it all better soon. But it's getting better. It's much better. I got my desk set up. I've got a tray underneath the desk, and basically part of the problem was moving my hand out this far. It was the repetition. It's like a repetition injury from constant mouse movements on a properly postured desk. I'm pretty sure that's part of what's happened to me. But I know the bowling didn't help, tennis probably didn't help, and so hopefully that all gets better here soon. I thought it was worse than what it is, but it still got me. It still has me concerned, but I think it's gonna get better. I might take off. I got to finish up this tennis season, but then I might take off the rest of I might not play during the summer, just to give it a rest. Anyways, get some more treatment. This computerized thing is interesting. So, what else? The earthquake came up, and I'll show you some conversations with Lino. But basically, he predicted something big was going to happen the day before. It happened on the 11th. The day before this, he predicted something big is going to happen tomorrow. Something big. And then something big happened. The earthquake and tsunami in Japan. I thought that was interesting. Look at my psychic link and my psychic or something. As far as, well, that's pretty interesting though. I didn't see that coming. I figured this. But he makes some interesting predictions for me, but I don't know. He's got my attention now that he's said that one. Had he said that there was going to be an earthquake tomorrow, and then it happened, then I'd probably fly a ticket to where he's at and kiss his feet. But it's still pretty impressive saying something big's going to happen, and then that. He didn't predict an earthquake, but he did predict something big, so he got it. What else? Court issue. Going on with the court is, see, I went in, since last time I went in, and I got an interview with Scott. She talks about the case, but it's essentially they're allowed judicial immunity. I can accuse a judge of corruption, and he can be bribed. He can be bribed money by the opponents in his cases, and that's evidently he can get away with breaking laws, and it's called judicial immunity. I asked, I didn't really get it recorded, but in the courtroom, but basically I said, they made a statement basically during their statements, the defense, that nothing can be that judicial immunity. They don't have to acknowledge my request for statements denying, refuting the allegations of throwing away court documents on purpose, or crimes committed by the judge, like for instance getting bribed or something. But they don't have to even acknowledge it. So without getting acknowledged and without being refuted of my allegations, they dismiss the case. And that's It's pretty sad that they can commit crimes. They don't have to acknowledge any of my requests for statements about crime allegations, and they can just get dismissed. And it's a sad world in the legal community. I have to say, man, it's not what I've got going on with. I've got 2 more against perjury. It's related to that same case that I've been dealing with, Bosley, and they've going to threaten to sanction me. They could threaten me for $10,000. I got to pay $10,000. What this is a big thick ass thing here. Basically, it says if you don't drop this case, we're going to submit this. And what it says is, I am going to have to pay $10,000 if I want this case to go forward. If I can't pay $10,000, then the case gets dismissed with prejudice. And also, they're going to sanction me to prevent me from filing any more cases in the state of Minnesota. Any case, conciliation, state, anything in the state of Minnesota. And this is all because they can't sign the statement saying that they did not commit perjury in that previous case. So they'd rather file this big thing here versus a 1-page thing that says, we didn't commit perjury. And the reason why is not because they've got all kinds of time on their hands, it's because they can't actually sign the statement that they were trying to commit perjury. Because it would be a lie, and they can't lie because of my Truth Under Oath Perjury Prevention Service. So, another circumvent of the legal system, and who knows? I mean, this could actually that'd be again shocking to me. But if that would actually get ordered, they're going to put that motion in, and it's going to delay everything. And it's this conciliation court case could take instead of 2 months, it could take 4 months or 6 or something. So, I'm not going to drop the case, and we're going to find out what happens. What else here? I've had a conversation with Nathan, about an hour long. Another conversation with Dwight, a lawyer that I met through a musician, very gifted musician. I'm pretty sure he used to be a gifted lawyer, and kind of got burnt out. But we were talking about this Truth Under Oath and the legal system, and hopefully you can hear the conversation okay. It's but that went on for, I don't know what, an hour there, or 45 minutes or something. So you'll hear that discussion. And I think that's about it.
From everything you have, you can just delete everything and just put that story. And I think it will be the greatest thing.
Okay,
well, I mean, you could delete everything you have and just have that story, and it would even be better.
All right. Well, I'm recording now, so I'll just go through what we're just talking about.
Did I tell you the time travel? Did I ever tell you any story with time travel?
Yeah, you've told me a couple.
With myself? Something freaky happened. Well, freaky, let's just say probabilistically insane. I was going to do a timeline to understand this, to people understand this, but I'm going to just say it. Like, we're in 2000, okay, in 2009, I think it was, I had this phone call Are you following me?
Okay. You had this phone call, 2009.
Yeah. And it was from a number that I didn't know, and I was at a friend's house. So, since I don't receive any calls, especially from unknown numbers, I gave him to respond. And a woman starts talking, and there's something about the credits that I didn't quite understand. He said that I wasn't around and that I left my cell phone on the on his house, and then I whispered to him bank because I registered on my bank and I thought maybe it could be the bank. And he said to her, "Is this something about a bank?" And she got rabid at him and told him something like, "If this is a wrong number, how do you know this is about a bank?" Get it? Do you understand it so far?
If this
Are
is
you
the wrong,
following me?
if this is the wrong number, then how'd you know about the bank? Because you've been telling him psychically. What you've been telling him? What psychically about the bank?
No, I whispered to him, bank. Why? Because I registered in a bank, and I thought that that phone call was related to the bank. Are you following?
Okay.
Okay. So, after all that kind of screaming on the other side of the phone, she was kind of ravaged from what I could sort of hear from a meter or so. The thing is, I recorded on my cell phone the number, and I put in there the name credits. Okay. I was doing a kind of work. Are you following me?
Okay.
At the time of that phone call, I was doing a time travel work. I was diagramming on paper how I would record a time travel. Are you following me?
All right.
Okay, on that kind of time that I started it, I received that call. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward to maybe the end of 2009 or the beginning of 2010. I was with a friend, and he told me he was working, and I asked him at what, and he told me he registered himself in the employee center. Okay, are you following me?
What you're trying to say is that you use time travel to tell this guy the bank information. I just want to get to the punchline here.
No, I'm trying to get there, but I just want you to follow the story. So
I want to get to the punchline so that I can ask you questions. See, if I understand the end result, then I can follow the train of thought at the beginning. You see what I'm saying? So the punchline, the ending story is that.
I haven't got there yet.
I know. Tell me the ending so that I understand the whole picture here, so that I can put it together. You time travel to read somebody's mind.
No. I was doing that kind of work when I got that phone call, and I recorded the name credits of that number in my cell phone. Okay. So I went with a friend of mine to this job center, and there's dozens of them around. But I went with him to this specific one, and then another day that I went with him, I told him that I was going to register there. Okay. So after I did all that, in January or February, I can't remember now, I received a call in my cell phone with the name Credit, and I thought that may be the same mistake again from that bank or whatever, because I didn't know where the hell that number was from. Okay, I was to call them back on the first call that I had, but I didn't answer. My friend answered. So that name Credit was ringing, and I didn't even pick up the phone because it was early and I was still kind of sleepy. And then that stopped, and my house number was calling, and then she says something like,
Lino, I'd ask for the ending punchline. I can't follow it. Give me the ending punchline. You psychically, or you somehow, give me the ending result here. The ending result is what? Give me it in 2 sentences. Give me it in 2 sentences.
if you didn't interrupt me, I was there already.
All right.
So this job center called me to my cell phone, and it had the number from the year before. And then I didn't answer the phone call from them, and then the house phone called, and she said something like, "This is the job center. We have a job for you, and you weren't answering your cell phone." And I was blown away by that, because they literally called me 1 year before I ever registered with them. I received a call from a place that I only registered a year before.
And that phone number was, what was the trip here? It was a phone number, right? That was the trip.
Imagine 5 years ago, you received a phone call from me, and you didn't know who I was. And it's like I received a phone call from a place that I didn't give my phone number. I only give them my number a year before, and I didn't know who that number was. I think, aren't you following me?
This is what I was trying to say. Give me the punchline. I still don't quite understand the punchline here. Let me ask. They didn't know, you got a phone call a year or two before you had their number, right? Or they gave you a call before they had your number, right?
They gave me a mistaken, I guess, phone call before I ever heard who they were, and I only gave the number a year after, and they only got my number but I didn't even know who or where that number was from.
Couldn't they have been doing telemarketing or something? That's why they called you up.
I never before ever got a call like that, because she was angry at the other side, It's something that I did, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Somehow they by accident called me. But the thing is, I never gave them my number, because I only registered with them a year later. That's the punchline. That's the freakiest. And the freakiest thing was that I was doing, on paper, time travel simulations. That is sick, dude.
Okay, I got. Well, I think I understand. It's just that I'm trying to figure out why it's freaky, because they could have. Did they call up a random number, or were they? Do you know what a telemarketer is here in the U.S.? You know what that is?
I know what a telemarketer is,
But
but I
what-
never received a telemarketer phone call, and that was not a telemarketer. That was someone mad at something that someone has done. Me, but the thing is, they couldn't have been mad at me because I never registered with them.
Who is the person? What was the conversation? What's it about? Who is this person? Is it a dating service or what?
No, it was a job center.
A job center. Okay. Well, God, you couldn't tell me that up front. You got a call from a job center, and that's
I
why
told you in front.
you said job center. Now you called them. You gave them their number later for a job, right? For job purposes, right? That's why you.
I went to a job center a year later, but the thing is, I didn't know that job center had called from that number, I never called that number back, because I was kind of afraid that someone was pulling an elite move on me. And so I never responded back to that phone call. The girl that was calling, she was mad about some credit. And I thought, I had some enemies at the time. And I thought someone was implicating me in some illegal activity or something.
Okay.
And the thing that I'm still wondering is, how the hell did they call me at random? Well, wasn't it random? It was by mistake.
Okay.
But how the hell could they call me by mistake? And then I go registered to the same place they made the mistake. It's kind of insane to me. And the insane part is that I was doing time travel ideas on paper. I was simulating how to record on video a potential time travel.
Okay,
So that's
well,
my weird story.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm looking at your document laying here.
Oh yeah. So what's your status these days? You've been to the doctor a bunch more times or what?
Yeah, I had more tests yesterday morning, and I got all the results today, and they're perplexed. They don't know what to do with me. They said I'm as healthy as a 20-some-year-old guy.
Really?
Yeah. So they asked me how come my gut hurts. I don't know. It must be all in my head, huh? Must be fake pain or something.
Yeah, but it's not fake when you're feeling it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Well, are you sure you didn't drink the well water sometime a long time ago?
No, because wouldn't have they saw some kind of in my blood or in my, and they tested all my kidney, my gallbladder, my liver. They tested all those things, And if there was some kind of toxic stuff in there, don't you think they'd be able to tell it in my urine or in my blood test or in my cholesterol test or all those things they tested for? Don't you think they'd be able to find it there?
I'm just asking, did you ever drink the well water a long time ago?
Well, I checked it when I first moved in and found out it wasn't good to drink, that it had higher bacteria, that I couldn't drink it, so I never drank it.
Okay, well,
I've always gotten water from in town, so
but before you had it tested, did you drink it?
no.
Okay.
Never drank it. Never ever one day ever drank the water from there.
Okay. Well,
And I know, so that isn't even in my mind. I'm still more trying to figure out why it makes me hurt, or why food makes me hurt.
What did you look up on the internet that was somebody had same symptoms and what was it? What?
What's called fatty liver. If you type that in, you'll get a bunch of guys saying, I have this, and here's what I'm doing, or like I said, one guy said, yeah, the doctors told me it was my gallbladder, so they took my gallbladder out, and then I never got better. So that didn't fix it. That wasn't what was wrong. Then, and I didn't want me to be that story. I would never let anybody take anything out of me anyway unless I got a second opinion, especially somebody around here. I wouldn't let anybody do any surgeries in Redwood or Wilmer anyway, because there's a bunch of horse doctors. So, but anyway, so now I got another appointment a week from this Monday, with whatever date that is, like the 14th of March in Wilmer, with a gastrologist again, to see if he can give me any idea. He's gonna have all my records and all my tests, and I'm gonna see if he knows anything. And then if you don't give me any answers, then maybe I'll just head for a clinic.
Yeah, and you have health coverage for all this, right?
Yeah.
That's good,
I
man.
don't know. Maybe I'll run out after a while. I don't know if I got a cap or not. I might have a $10,000 or $15,000 cap I've already hit. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm lucky I got that health coverage. It costs me quite a bit every year, but it covers me and Luke, so I'm thankful I got it.
It's through your wife, right?
No, it's through Minnesota Care. My wife only has coverage for her, and hers is worthless.
What's yours through?
Minnesota Care.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I report my income from my tax statement, my tax return.
Okay.
I send them my tax return, and then they calculate out what my premium is supposed to be every month. And then that's based on that. These last 5 years, when I don't make no money at my store here, it helps my premiums go down.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a strange. It's a strange story because you are in pain right now, correct?
Yeah, it hurts right now. Not bad, but the better foods I eat, the less I hurt. So I've been eating a lot of crackers, eating a lot of applesauce, and drinking a lot of grape juice, and I eat all that bland stuff. I don't feel bad, but I wouldn't want to ever put no hamburger in me, or I'd be sicker than a dog.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you ever throw up your food?
No. Nope. And the more it hurts down on my lower side, the more it hurts in my lower right back, too.
Because right now it's hurting right now your pain is kind of like it's down by your groin, is that correct?
Yep. On the right side of my groin and around the side into my right side of my lower back.
Damn. And what organs over there? Is that where the kidneys are located?
Well, I think the kidneys are slightly higher than that. And that's what I thought it was at the beginning, because I had kidney stones before, and that's kind of where it hurt. But that wasn't it. They checked all that, so.
Yeah, I just got back from the cities. I I did not.
Yeah, come up.
Yeah, I didn't pass my test. I got to restudy. And didn't win this court case that I had. So, which
How'd you do in the court case? When did you find that out?
this morning I went to it.
Yeah, but when do you find out what they decided?
They decided it right there.
They did.
Yep.
Who? You went up against the church up there?
Yeah, let me switch mics here a second. Okay, there. Yeah, I went up. Not against, it wasn't a church. It was against the state. Suing the state because they lost some documents in a previous case.
Oh.
And again, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I approached it that they just needed to make a statement that they didn't lose any documents in a case. And I would dismiss this, and I sent that 2 weeks ago, and so all they had to do is send that back.
Say they didn't lose them, but they couldn't say that because they must have lost.
But they didn't say it. They didn't say it. Either before the court, and then when I was in the courtroom, they didn't say it either. But they got it dismissed because there's this thing called judicial immunity, which but they can do anything. Courts can do anything, and so can judges. And there's a judicial immunity that says you can't sue them. Can you believe that crap?
You didn't know that though, huh?
I knew it ahead of time, but I didn't believe it.
Oh.
I mean,
Is that what they used then?
I can't believe it, huh?
Is that what they used then for an argument, that you can't sue them, and then therefore they won?
That's right. It got dismissed because of judicial immunity, and even in the court, I made a plea, just like kind of like in the court thing. There's been no dispute. I said there's been no dispute. They did not tell me these crimes didn't happen, thus I should win. And the judge came back saying it's dismissed because of judicial immunity.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I guess that you're going to be broke with all these court fees that you got to pay for every one of these. What is it, $75 or what is it now?
Yeah, that's not the problem. The problem is the judicial system. It's sort of dangerous. It pisses people off because if judges if they have immunity, they can make the crappy decisions, and they could be working deals on the side, sexual favors or financial favors, right? And they make decisions based on that, and then middle of P on me gets boned over, and the only outlet for them with this kind of a system is to get so pissed off that they just bust out the rifle,
Yeah.
It creates a dangerous system where
the worst thing is that the judicial system is kind of like the police, where if they think they can justify something, they got the power, They could do whatever they want, just like a cop. You could say, oh, the guy pulled a gun and aimed it at me, so I shot him. Who would ever know? If the guy dies, who's going to be there if nobody's there to say that didn't really happen? Who's ever to say the cop just decided to shoot the guy, whether he was pointing the gun at him or not? And the same thing with the judge. He can do what he wants, and it's like hard to fight the system.
Yeah, that's precisely why I'm trying to get this truth under oath out there, because it actually protects the peons like me out there because of that kind of a scenario you just mentioned. Under oath, you'd ask the police officer, did they if they can't lie, then they won't be able to say that he pointed the gun at them. You get it?
Right.
If I can get this thing solidified and understood by everybody, and this thing, then that would actually protect it. That's the thing about the system. That what I'm trying to raise is awareness of a system to protect the little guy from being abused by the system. So
I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I mean, it happens every day. It happens every day in court where little guys get walked on because they're little and they don't have enough money or they don't have enough pull or the judge is power hungry or he's influenced by some company that's getting sued where they got a lot of money. And you don't ever, and you really don't know how to prove that there's corruption going on or something. It's just really hard to prove.
Well, I'm trying to prove it by getting them to talk. Now, today, again, you notice they didn't talk. Actually, I was in court today for two cases. One was the loss of court documents, and then also in a previous case with Bosley in which my hair transplants didn't work.
Well, yeah,
In that case, well, what happened, this is a long time ago, that initially, that caused me to do all these suits since then, is because Bosley agreed to give me back $5,000. I said, listen, to make it right, make it $5,600. That's the proper amount. They said, screw you. I took them to small claims, and I got nothing from it. And that's what I was suing. I was suing the judge. I was suing the judge for being a criminal, for working a deal on the side. And you know,
didn't have no proof of that.
well, I just said all you have to do is tell me it didn't happen, and I'll drop the case. And it's called discovery, Scott. It's actually part of this legal system in which you open up discovery and you ask questions. So if I ask the question, did the judge commit a crime in the way he mannered that case? They said nothing today. They said nothing, indicating to me that they did. Because when you ask an uncomfortable question like, Scott, if I ask you a question, did you try to kill me yesterday? And you're gonna respond you're gonna evidently respond. The answer would be no, right? Otherwise, it's going to indicate that you did. It's the similar.
Right. If I didn't answer at all, that indicates that I did.
Right. It's an indication. It's right. You ask an uncomfortable question, they better answer with the correct response. Otherwise, it's the bad innuendo involved.
Right. You assume that it's the other answer.
Right. So, you know, in any of those questions, you know, did you trip that person? And you would obviously say no. If you didn't say anything, and that's the idea behind this truth under oath, is that they're not saying they didn't do it, which today is what happened for two cases. They did not say they did not do it. And the reason why is because they cannot lie. They committed the crime, and they cannot lie under oath because of my truth serum.
Mm-hmm.
See?
How long ago did Tom Bosley make you that offer for the money back?
That was about 3 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, that was.
Too bad now that you know that you wished you would have took it back then.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
losing
true.
$600.
Right.
Losing $600 is certainly a lot better than losing $5,600.
Right. I lost $5,000 because I didn't take it, but at the same time, you're right. Now that I know, and in hindsight, but the problem is it's a corrupt system. I should have at least won $5,000 in the case,
Mm-hmm.
and the judge is a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Judge is a dirtbag, and he holds me over.
Did you tell the judge that they offered you $5,000 back then?
Yeah, I barely got a chance to say a word. He just took the defense of his attorney. He says, I take the information and said, I've heard enough. And I barely said a word. Why do you think I'm so pissed off? That's why
I'd be mad. I'd be mad at that one because It's funny that he didn't allow you the judgment of $5,000, the original amount that they offered you back then. It's funny that they don't have more of those Tom Bosley cases with guys that didn't have any success, and or had worse condition than when they started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
So did you hook up with Donna then?
I talked with her. She's in a mood again. She gets in her. Oh, did I tell you she called me up Sunday night and says, Chris, let's get married.
probably thought, am I hearing things here or what? The heck?
I said, is Ashton Kutcher playing a punk joke on me or what?
Boy, I'm glad you didn't take her up on that one.
Oh,
You would have been in a mental institution by the end of the week.
and you know, it just was shocking that she would think after everything that we've been through that everything is cool again, and
Yeah.
but you know, I was willing to hang out and experience some good time. But by the way, her mother is going through cancer issues. But so I called her up last night, and she's got an attitude on the phone. Well, why aren't you? Oh, I see you're doing something better. Oh, I see you found somebody better, and you want to hang out there. And I just simply was watching a movie. I didn't. She's mental. She's just a douchebag, and I can't do anything without some kind of accusation of some kind of affair going on, some kind of I'm ignoring her. It would just be a matter of time before she came out of the woodwork again. You know.
Yeah, that's just too much of that's too uncomfortable of a situation to have that knife hanging over your head all the time, just waiting for her to come down with a accusation of something. You know.
Yep.
I couldn't deal with that. That's too much stress. You don't need that.
Damn straight.
Yeah, you're better off without her.
You know,
And that's the good thing about living here and being up there. If you're up there visiting her and all of a sudden she flips out and turns into a Jekyll and Hyde, you could get up and walk away from her and come back to Redwood and you don't have to look at her. That's the good part about it.
yeah. Yep.
Well, I suppose I should get something done here. I've got to get ready for my meeting. I got a church meeting on Sunday morning. I got to write up some documents. But
Are you?
still?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you still need that sheet from your brother-in-law?
Yeah. Do you want me to come up and get it, or is it okay? I mean, I actually
Come up and get. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You got a copy of it?
I got a second one signed that was more more official, more better written, and less scribbly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Well, I'm just laying here. You could come up whenever I'm here. I'll be back on Saturday again. So.
I guess if you wanted to, you could just throw it away. That would be okay.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Otherwise I could put it in someplace where I could keep it safe for you.
Keep it for. I'll try to stop up on Saturday. Like I said, I got back today. It's a little hectic, but Saturday I'll stop. Are you gonna be there Saturday? You think?
Yeah, I'll be here Saturday morning
All right.
at 10:30.
I'll probably visit.
I plan on it.
So are you able to? Are you able to urinate okay or what?
Yeah, I leak pretty good. It just feels a little different when I leak.
Are you able to be sexual or what?
Yeah, I could do that too. That feels a little weird too. Something just doesn't feel right. My lower gut and it just doesn't feel right down there.
I mean,
something's going on.
It's a question in general about somebody that's in like intense pain. Can you like function? Like, is it able, or are you able to function normally? Or
Sure, I'm pretty fairly normal. I'd say 95% normal. Usually when I leak though, I leak all at once, and then I'm done. But now lately, when I've been this sick for the last 7 weeks, I leak, and it's about 3/4 of it comes out, and then I wait another 20 seconds, and then some more comes out.
Oh boy!
That's never did that before. But they did every kind of scan you could think of. They scanned my weenie and everything.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, they did everything.
You gotta lay down on slap on the table. There's a big old slap.
That's right. Some girl had to run some slimy wand over me for about 15 minutes, and I said, "This is no fun."
Jesus.
Yeah. You just wait, Roller. You got all this junk coming to you someday. I sure like when you walked in here and you looked like you came from the doctor's office, like I said last week, I would have traded anything with your ailments for what I had.
Yeah.
You know, with your shoulder and your whatever.
Yeah, you definitely got a point there. It looks like my shoulder. I went to the chiropractor in the city's, but a second opinion, and it looks like it's not going to be that big a deal. I think we're going to get it worked out if I see a proper psych. I don't think Malin was the guy to see. I don't think so. Anyways, I tried somebody else, and
Physical therapy or something? Or?
I've got anxiety in my tendons. It can be worked out. It's just simply it might take a little time. So.
But you have to back off on any certain physical things? Or
Well,
not?
they said 2 weeks on the bowling and tennis. I thought it was going to have to be a year, but I lowered my desk. I lowered my desk. Ernie helped me out lowering that down, and I've got a tray I'm putting in here now to keep my hand from getting re-aggravated with the mouse. So.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So I'll let you go, okay?
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
And then the kids showed them around and played with them and stuff. And they really liked them. And they gave them some dresses that used to be Elizabeth's, and then and real pretty ones. And then a few toys that were really nice. That were so.
The lady, she lives in that area, or does she travel a ways?
Correct. Stephanie, San Mateo is probably, I'm guessing, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. You know, it's in the Bay Area.
Oh, yeah.
The Bay Area.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. And San Mateo is where she used to live in Kainasula. And she is and was a doctor. I don't know if you remember that.
Okay.
So anyway, we had a really fun visit, and the kids really enjoyed them and stuff like that. So, and I've been on my own for several days. I followed the routine the first couple of days, so that I had it down pat, getting them to school, picking them up. They have lots of homework in the evening, so, you know, they have pretty scheduled. But this weekend, then, we played, there's a playground right over, like a half a block away from the house, a park playground, you know.
Yeah.
And so we played there yesterday for over 4 hours. So yeah, things are going good. I have no problem whatsoever. Shouldn't have any problems. And so forth. And their kids are great. They're great kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
How is what?
Yeah. Are they like curious? Well, are they missing the parents at all?
Are they gonna see who?
No, are they missing the parents? Have they talked about Steph at all?
Oh yeah, we did a lot about that. They, especially the oldest and stuff, and she's very eager and has really great comprehension, and I got to know her. But yeah, she's the one that knows me the best anyway, and yeah. Oh yeah, they're brought in naturally, you know. We got this here, that there, but you know, it's not all the time, but it's natural when it is. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's and as far as missing their dad, have they talked? Has Dale talked to the kids since you've been there?
Yeah, they get to Skype, video Skype.
Yeah.
Steadily, and they had one scheduled this week, but it didn't work out. But as it happens, he's actually coming to the area now for a visit, and he'll be here this coming weekend. He'll have 3 days with them.
Oh, wow.
4 hours. 4 hours each day, so, and yes, they definitely, you know, love them, so, you know, nobody is changing that. Nobody wants to, you know, so.
So you're going to see Dale for 3 days, right?
Nope, no contact with us, but they work it out to where it's in a neutral place.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Well, that's always the way it was. That's always the way it was.
Okay, no, I was just wondering, okay, I didn't know if you'd be able to, have a talk with Dale and discuss everything that's happened,
Oh, no, generally that's not considered a good idea because of conflict of interest, so,
Well,
what's the word? Yeah, no, I'm just saying though that there has never been contact with any of them. That it's always been through a neutral. His patients were 3 times a week, and it was always through a neutral party. And would be that way here too. Yeah.
So he's going to have supervised visitation?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Yep. Yepper. So. So it's exciting. They're excited about it and so forth. So it's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if Dale's been out to see Aaron's house, but is that part of the picture? Is that he's going to check out where they're living?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. Yeah. He can certainly, look at it. Yeah, well, now that I think of it, he was here for the wedding. He knows it real well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Now that I think of it, no problem. He's very well aware of what it's all about. And they did a really nice job of making it kidified, if that's the word you want to use, considering that it was not geared that way, so it's really cool. So, what are you going to do now with it? I suppose we probably should shut it down and we'll get into, do you know what her homework is? Is it just sight words? We can get her book bag and see if she has any. He's the only one that has homework for sure? Okay, we'll get that in a little bit. But yeah, we'll shut this down and in a little bit we're going to do homework so that we're free. They go to a charter school and there's a lot of homework. But Lily doesn't have mandatory homework, but they have encouraging homework for her. Homework where she's read stories and stuff like that. So, and they're doing good in school, right, kids? Boy, just really fun. Yep, and you'll probably get to see them this summer when they're visiting Minnesota, if you get out and about.
Yeah, after the school year, they're going to come here for the summer, or what?
It carries most of the time, yeah. At least for a while, for, a visit. And then, depends on how we can work that out and stuff. But yeah, for a visit. Yeah, so you had another call the other day. I didn't get a chance to return it because I have been really busy. Did you satisfy your questions on that?
Oh, it's actually the synchronicity of menstruation, and it just occurred to me that there's actually heard from the philosophy discussion group that there's actually it sounds funny. There's actually a dominance that some ladies are the dominants and the others are the followers as far as the synchronicity. I just find that funny. Isn't that funny?
Oh, I've read of it, but I mean, it isn't mandatory, okay? A lot of women still keep their unique cycle and stuff like that, but in tribal areas, I think they noticed sometimes that was the case, or I suppose in factories where a lot of women are together for a long, long time. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
I've never followed it. I've never followed it in any extreme because I've never been around any other women long enough to care, or even we don't talk our periods, I've never been a believer in, complaining about it, or I never had problems with mine. So I never complained about having it, so nobody ever knew, and I didn't want to hear anybody else's complaints about it if they were having a bad one,
Well, that was my part of my question is, did you? Well,
no.
Was one
The answer is no.
No, did you and the daughters ever go into synchronicity?
No, Not that I'm aware of.
And two, do you, in order to go...
I'm not saying that it couldn't have been simultaneously at the same time once in a while, but no, never synchronicity. And especially with Steph, who is real irregular.
Okay, and another question is, well, it sounds like this is, I'm not talking to the right party here, but is it, do you have to be talking to each other about your menstrual cycle in order for that to occur?
I have no idea.
In other words,
I have no idea.
In other words, you weren't talking about it, so the question is, are the people that are talking about it and thus become aware in their mind of everybody's menstrual cycle, and that's what triggers the actual synchronicity?
Why don't you read up on it?
I
happen to think it isn't talking about it, that it's probably more of a psychic event, but I could be wrong. The, psychological, in other words, induced, psychologically induced instead of biologically. See, I thought your suggestion was that it's kind of a biological rhythm in interconnection. But if you talk about it, and that's the reason, well, then it's a, it's almost like a psychosomatic reason. If you talk about it, it would be psychosomatic. If you don't talk about it, it would be psychic.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out, is if it's a psychic thing, because...
Do your research on it. It is not an area that I have ever, other than, oh, that's interesting. That was my thought on it, and then I never ever gave it any more thought, because I consider myself a unique human being, and that is a very minor part of my being.
Well, I think that the whole thing... If you wouldn't mind, can I talk? You break. I'm just going to talk now. Thank you. I've looked it up on the web. I've researched it, and there's little to be told about the actual mindset, or whether people are talking amongst each other, that are aware of each other's. So that's why I had to call you up to see what you found out from your experience, and I find that I'm not really getting that many answers.
Correct. Yeah.
If you don't, okay, go ahead.
Well, there's nothing more to add. What I said, and that is that the reason I didn't come to get back at you was because the topic wasn't, something I knew a lot about. But I had very little to give you because I hadn't really no interest in it. But no, there was never any synchronicity with anybody that I'm aware of with me.
The reason why I think it's a psychic thing is that they actually call it sort of a phenomenon, and they say, a lot of people say that phenomenons do not exist, or that nothing supernatural exists, or nothing psychic exists. Supernatural and psychic are similar, where they say that none of us are psychic. So I'm actually finding this very curious in the magical world, and then because I'm a believer in magic, that I find this very interesting. That I'm trying, and I've looked on the web, and I'll keep looking, but I find that people are sort of hush-hush about this, because it is sort of a personal nature, but I find it very interesting because the word phenomenon has been said.
May I say something?
Yep, go ahead.
I don't agree that on the internet it's going to be that personal in nature. There is nothing hush-hush about anything. I mean, my gosh, stuff you can find out on the web. I have studied with interest the fact that in factories they have had women who are menstruating not work during those times because they affect the electronics in certain conditions. Have you ever heard that?
That is great. That is awesome.
No, seriously, I heard this easily 30, 40 years ago, and so did Ernie, that there were certain things, that there was something about the hormones given off.
Oh my
God!
God!
They affected certain things in the factory, so when they had their period, they were not allowed to work in that particular factory. It's not just that many. So if you do a research on that, you'll find out. If you want to know more information, Ernie might have a recall, because he and I both talked about that. So there is a phenomenon with something like that. So the fact that it goes into other, that there's another connection with other females, yes. And I think in your studies, did you see where in these tribal areas that there was some synchronicity with the women?
No, I read that, and they're actually describing sort of the reasons why this may be occurring. And it's sort of related to survival. It's best for survival.
Okay, I did not know that. Yeah, okay.
Actually, I don't have this. I could look up the.
All right, well, no, that's okay, but now if I can make a comment, if that would be what it is in the tribal area, then it makes sense that when you start getting into a big society that is modern day, where we don't have a survival need for synchronicity, then the ecological, where's your book bag? Did you get a bag with a book in it, Jack? Jack, did you get a bag? Where's your bag with your book in it? It's not in here. And they didn't give you another one? Okay, that's okay. All right, well, anyway, but I was going to say, Chris, the reason they may not have, that it isn't a reality that much anymore is because there would be no survival need. Because our society is beyond just the tribal.
Yeah, I didn't have this website, but yeah, yeah, it comes from. I'm guessing it would come from the millions of years of evolution from the past. You can't just change nature overnight, but it does bring up. I like the word phenomenon, and I'm just trying to research this. And I see some more links here that says, "Is menstrual synchronicity real?" So I got to check out these links. In other words, people are. It seems like whenever mystifying and magical and phenomenon occur, it's like you got to always find this, the opposing nature that says, "Oh, I'm sorry, but there's nothing weird going on in this world," you know.
Okay. Now, I have to say goodbye here, Kristen, because I've got to help him with his homework. But I got a question on the me coming back. What has been your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you want to come back on a Tuesday, something like that, because then I can go to the cafe, Socrates.
Okay, well, I can try, but I'm going to base it on the weather at that end, okay, as well as the airplane flight, okay? But otherwise, are you still willing to pick me up even if it is on Socrates?
Yeah, just give me. I did not pass my test, so I'm trying to. Give me an idea when I need a few days so that I can schedule my test. 2 days in advance.
You'll get. I'm going to get the plane flights this week, and I'm really going to base it on that and go from there. Okay. If they're better during the week next week, I'll do it during the week. But otherwise, like I said, I'd have to try to see if Terry could pick me up for something too on a weekend, and then have her meet near you at Winthrop. So. Okay, well, anyway, I'm going to have to go, and you look up your information. I can't help you, as you know, so that's cool. And so...
Okay.
I'll talk to you another time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. What happened? I have this thing I call... is it possible to keep people from lying under oath? To keep perjury from happening?
I don't think so. There's no device that I'm aware of that can strictly prevent it. It's not like, I don't know how it's strictly preventable.
Yeah.
People swear not to lie under oath, but that doesn't mean that they can't. But they're oath.
Have you ever seen? I'm sort of a. I call myself a mentalist, and what happens? It's kind of a magician thing. You ever seen a hypnotist? What they do is they say, you will now be stuck to your chair, and the next thing you know, they're stuck to their chair.
Right.
And it's a power suggestion thing. It's like, hey, you are going to be stuck to your chair. You are. So in a similar nature, I'm under the impression that I can enforce it such that when a person says, I swear to tell the truth, they now do. Similar, very similar to that. Now, yeah, I mean, if that was possible, I'm pretty sure it's sort of happening sometimes, but I'm having trouble getting anybody to recognize it because it is somewhat supernatural. If it does, it's sort of like a weird thing, you know.
Right.
And if it's happening, it's something that cannot be acknowledged too much in reality. I'm finding, and
well, believe me, if you had this power, Chris, and you could take it with a team of lawyers into the courtroom to reinforce the likelihood or certainty that a person on the stand will be in effect forced to speak the truth, you'd be a very rich man.
you would think so. It is kind of why I'm talking with you, because I don't have a team of lawyers, and I am looking maybe to find somebody that can help look into this for me, because I'd be willing to share that rich man thing with you if you could help me out here.
I just wonder, I mean, how would you market this? I suppose all you could do is, like, contact the big firms in the Twin Cities and tell them you're possessed of this faculty. And as such, you know, if you could virtually guarantee that a person offering testimony is going to give testimony of a certain kind. If they're looking for the truth, which I presume they would be in certainly select instances where it's strategically advantageous to them to get the opposition, for the most part, to admit certain facts. If you could guarantee that opposition is going to testify along a certain line, and that they don't have to, you know, go in and try and pull it out or end up frustrated because they failed to pull out certain truthful testimony. I mean, that's a big thing in courtrooms, right? You know? Yeah, if you could guarantee, if you're in a position because of your power to guarantee a certain line of testimony, then I would think that your services would prove invaluable. And I wouldn't have a clue as to how you could effectively, persuasively, whatever, market this.
Well, there's a bunch of markets. I mean, anybody that requires truth, like for instance, it's an alternative to polygraph. That's one. Two, it would be marketable to the courts because they could actually help the justice system become a little bit more solid instead of a jury deciding. A jury of your peers deciding what truth is. It would actually be there'd be absolute truth available to help do that. So there'd be a huge market for this. And truth with a FBI, CIA that record, you know, polygraph thing again. Truth lie detectors. No need for waterboarding. Torture techniques no longer needed because you could just get them under oath. There's actually quite a market. If I could just convince, I've been trying to convince lawyers in the cities to help me out here, and maybe, and that's kind of, I don't know who to talk to, so that's why I'm talking with you. Maybe can I show you some paperwork and show you what I've been doing, and maybe set up a time to come meet you, and I'll show you what I've been doing, give you some idea. And maybe you can guide me then in a certain direction at that point, or?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what are you thinking when you say documents or information? Are you thinking about marketing materials, or what are you thinking?
Well, I'll show you some cases that I've been in where I'm accusing them of things. I'm saying, I accuse you of X, and all you have to do is say, I did not do X to this. And they do not say it. And so it looks like they're pleading the fifth, which looks like they're guilty to me. And this thing does not make you tell the truth. It keeps you from lying. So if you say nothing, it infers a guilt. It's kind of like if I accuse you of tripping me, and if you don't say anything, I'm assuming it's true. But
Mhm.
under the current system, you can plead the fifth and you're not guilty. So it's still very valuable. It's just that the system is set up such that if I were to implement what I've done, if it's true, then the system is not designed to infer any guilt, although it doesn't require a whole lot of effort in order to, for a jury in a civil court, preponderance of the evidence to determine that, that person is guilty because they're not saying anything.
Right.
Is there any way that I could gather some information and come meet you sometime and show you what I'm doing and maybe you can like talk some sense into me or something, or maybe
Yeah, I just don't know. In all frankness, I just don't know that I'm in a very good position to do that right now. I'm just tremendously busy. I just am between the bar operation and between the ballroom days working anywhere from 8 to 10 hours over there, and then several days working an additional 8 hours over here. I'm basically going 24/7 right now. So.
Well, I will. I mean,
There must be, aren't there local attorneys in Redwood Falls or whatever? Have you communicated with the attorneys or the County Bar Association on this subject?
they what I'm finding, Dwight, is if the lawyers are devil's advocates, which then if I were to actually implement this, that would actually, it'd be like the movie Liar Liar. If I were to actually implement something like this, they wouldn't want to acknowledge it because
No, lawyers are very interested. That's the other side. Lawyers are very interested in dishonesty and deceit and false testimony. As many lawyers as would want to find use your skills to certify the truth, there would be an equal number of lawyers who would be afraid of it.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. There's a whole bunch that are afraid of it. But you're saying there's a whole bunch that are for it. But I'm not finding those. And I'm finding.
Yeah, no.
I found you. You seem to be the one. But but there's you can actually I don't know if is your wife a notary public?
No.
Anyways, there's a quick statement that basically says you could like try to sign this, and it's basically perjury. Perjury can exist on the planet, and basically you think that's a true statement. You think that you'll be able to sign it, and the way this works is I'll actually keep you from signing it. It's via this magic I use, and what that would mean that's actually a lie, and that means that perjury does not exist on the planet, at least in my cases, the ones that are sponsored by me. So that you could actually witness this thing over there if you found a notary public and want to get a sworn statement basically saying perjury is possible by more than, say, 1,000 people on the planet. Some people are honest people, so they did not want to lie. So I have to change it. The statement has to read perjury is possible by more than 1,000 people on the planet, that's a statement that basically says that there's 1,000 dirtbags that want to lie. And basically, in stopping you from signing that statement, it indicates to you that this thing's actually happening, and it's also kind of weird. So that's why I'm having trouble. It's somewhat supernatural, It's on the weird level where, hypnotism is kind of weird. So power suggestion is kind of weird. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out at you.
Well, I would just say you take it either whatever to a couple of lawyers in town, kick it around with them, since they're active practitioners in any way, or approach whatever the county whatever board association bar.
Well, I've approached one,
County.
and they go, well, of course, perjury is possible. They don't. I say, can you look into it? Can you sign the statement that I just mentioned to you Dwight, that statement I sent you, just told you about, I asked them, can you like do this? I don't want to do that because, you know, I just don't have time for it. So I'm finding people either don't have time, don't want to believe that if you think that there's a whole bunch of people that's got an ear open, that the lawyer's got an ear open that says, I'll check into this. I'm finding nobody will check into it. I'm hoping you will, Dwight.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just don't know I'm in a position to do it, quite frankly.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be today. I'm pretty patient. This thing's been active for about 3 or 4 years now, and so,
Yeah.
but, you know, I'll try again. I'll try calling you. Hopefully, maybe one day you're not busy or something. It'll just take a half an hour to you know, drive over and show you some stuff I'm doing, and just a half an hour every day, you know. So,
Yeah.
Well,
let's postpone it then. We can have maybe a conversation later.
Yeah. What percentage are you done with the old rope and spur?
It's a little hard to tell. All I know is we're making strides. We're just doing a lot of work that we're doing. We're just right in the thick of it right now, and as an estimated percentage of the total project time and cost, it's a little difficult for me to say right now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if I'm right on this, and you could help me go on this. I mean, you mentioned I'd be a rich man. I'm serious, man. That if I could just find somebody to help support what I'm doing, if this is true, you know, just invest a little bit of time in me, and just find out what's going on, and then you could do sort of, you know, your powers. You have powers too. That's called in the legal world. You have powers to be able to influence people. I'm telling you, you'd be a rich man too. You know, I'd be willing to just fork it all over. You know.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, please, and I'll give you a call again, and hopefully I can catch you on a day when you got half an hour.
All right.
Thank you, Dwight.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir. So,
The organization's telling you we're really not interested in securing the truth. That's right, we're not.
I mean, what I was thinking on the way over here, I'm thinking, if I could have you look into this a little bit, I'd partner up with you.
Well,
And you said it would be I'd be a very rich man. I'm willing to give you.
yeah, and I can tell you, I mean, look at me now. I'm not in a position. I'm just not. Okay? I got too many irons in the fire, and I confess or acknowledge that no interest whatsoever in becoming once again embroiled in any of the matters of the issue that legally in the practice of law.
You get that burden down, huh?
Yep, done. I mean, to seek the kind of objective you're seeking for this is to make review kid. You could light the bowels of hell or something, you know. How much candle power is that going to take? That's how bad it is in my estimation. It's all sinister.
It's all what?
Well, it's sinister. Sinister.
Oh, I know, the whole system.
I mean, if you want to, convert the devil into an angel of light, that would be too big a task.
That's what's going to do it. That's the task of heaven. Yeah.
Good luck and all
Right.
of that.
I'm guessing, devil's advocate, that it's true. There's like 90% of all lawyers are not interested in truth, or even more.
They're not interested in truth. All the courtroom dramas that we see on a good wife, the defenders, whatever, is really is just about winning, and that's all it's about, and by any means, and often that has.
If you could, but the marketing myself is keeping your point from lying on your own. You keep your point, so you.
I can see that any one of a number of lawyers would be interested in having a mechanism that could ascertain, like I say, beyond controversy, incontrovertibly, that they had a mechanism, like a lie detector, right? And that's what we use them, right, to verify whether or not a person is or isn't speaking the truth. Because you could bring that into a court of law and have like a light go off in the instance that somebody spoke a lie. But you almost need that kind of technology, right? Person's offering testimony, the light shines green, go, true, and then they speak a lie. Boom, bright red light, just like a traffic sign. Man, if you could invent that technology, that's where I think you could get. But how short of that, basically having a technical or technological representation of what's going on psycho-emotionally, how could you do that? This doesn't allow you to speak a lot. It's like the movie what is this technology? It absolutely does not allow a person to speak a lot.
Say you're outside the courtroom. There's the courtroom. I'll say, I didn't know if you were open. Lights were all on.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose she never turned this light on today. Well, okay, say am I wrong here? All that we have is your word or your professional determination as to whether or not the truth has been spoken, right?
Let me give you an example here. I'm going to say, I'm going to step in the courtroom, but before that I'm going to say, I am 8 feet tall. I get here and I go, well, I feel uncomfortable right now. I was trying to say, I'm 8 feet tall. I can't explain what's going on. I'm 8 feet tall, and they start tongue-tied. They become tongue-tied. It's like the movie Larry Larry in that fashion. It becomes tongue-tied. And Jim Carrey's got this.
So are you saying you have a means of when a person is? It's like that show. Have you seen the show Lie to Me? That's really an interesting show.
Is it a movie or?
Because he uses physical gestures and physical bodily gestures and facial gestures, which are micro expressions. It's but he's developed this faculty.
Actually,
He will see these micro, and he can tell when a person's lying by seeing kind of these micro expressions. And so he, Tim Roth, is the actor. Just on his word, is able to tell various bureaucrats whether or not a person is lying, and they accept that. They accept his expertise. How would anyone accept your expertise in this field? And they'd have to, right? In the same way.
All they have to do is witness it by trying to get the statement signed saying that the perjury exists in Chris Roller's sponsorship. In my sponsorship, perjury can exist. That's the statement. If they want to witness this thing, there's really, if they want to believe it, just take that statement, try to get it signed. You can't. That
By any prospective witness, as a precondition to testify in a trial, you have a witness sign this.
Just anybody, any Joe out there can just go ahead and try this, and then they'll witness how it works.
Right, but it will only be pertinent insofar as people are in a position to offer testimony in trial, right?
Well, it's anything under oath, so it doesn't be trial, but you can be outside the courtroom and
So I guess to simplify it, let's just say a trial setting right now. So this would be a mechanism of determining whether or not the prospective witness is inherently or naturally speaks the truth or inherently a liar?
Well, he or she will not be able to lie. All that's going to come out is the truth. What you'll find is a bunch of tongue-tying that will occur. You can actually see this occurring when they become tongue-tied. And they will say something to elude the question, to avoid the question, or change the subject of some form.
We're always talking about this thing that in the popular show Lie to Me does, where he can pick up on small gestures. But they're really fleeting. It's not like, they're fleeting gestures. And he can pick up on those. He has the acuity in terms of his professional comprehension or understanding of what's going on. Yeah. It's like he has Superman's X-ray vision. And so you can see these micro expressions in the way that you and I would, a lower lip or something going on with the eye, and you can see those micro movements, and in that detect whether or not a person is speaking truthfully or not. And in a sense, you're talking about that. And you'd have to establish yourself.
I'm not looking at, all they know is, I'm not looking at any reactions and then determining whether they're telling the truth. All they know is that only the truth will come out. And based on that, you can determine, okay, if I accuse you of trying to trip me, and you say, what are you going to say? What are you going to normally say?
Well, I say, no, I didn't trip you.
You walk in the courtroom, you step right here, and you say, can we ask another question? That's what you'll say when you step in the courtroom. If you did. If you did, that's what you'll say. If you didn't, you'll say, I didn't trip him. And I'll believe that. I'll believe it's in the courtroom. But if you say, if you avoid the question and say, well, I didn't intend on that happening. They'll say something like, there'll be a sidestep to the actual question. To avoid the actual, they won't say a lie. They won't say, yeah, I tripped. They won't say that. You won't say that. That's like the movie Liar Liar where he actually coughed up the truth. You won't actually state what happened. You'll try to avoid the question because you cannot speak the lie anymore.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I don't know what it is you're proposing exactly as a mechanism to bring truth to the courtroom forum, or others possibly. I mean, why not Guantanamo, right? You could take it anywhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You had a mechanism for determining whether or not a person is speaking the truth, or much rather, as I understand, a mechanism for ensuring that they cannot speak lies. I suppose that'd be great. You have some kind of mechanism to ensure that a person cannot speak a lie.
That's incredibly valuable.
I would think so.
Yeah, you would think so. You would think I'd be a millionaire. This has been happening since 2007.
Well, if you could, like I say, if you could offer this to the federal government in the interest of their interrogation of various detainees on Guantanamo, I would think that tomorrow, if you could say, listen, I have technology I can provide to you which ensures that any detainee decided to interview down in Guantanamo, regardless of whether or not they're speaking the truth, cannot open their mouth to speak a lie, you would easily sign a $100 million contract tomorrow.
I don't.
You know what price. And you know what price. Well, that's either I'm missing something, or you talk about certain prescience or mental capacity that uniquely enables you to, well, I think use the word control. A person's controlling you. To control a person in such a way that they cannot speak a lie. If you have that talent, you're the much more than $6 million man. And on the subject, I don't know if I want to speak any further, because as so often happens with these, you'd be possessed of what could only acknowledge, I guess, the supernatural power. And I'm in no position to say whether or not you could be or are, right? I will say that it sounds a little weird. It's weird. It's weird. That's why most people say Superman's a little, I'm sorry, Superman's a little weird. Yeah. Possessed of supernatural power. Hence, Superman. I am.
I was actually,
but, you know, I mean, suffice it to say, through time and history, you know, a man who has X-ray vision or has the strength to pull tall buildings up by their roots or something, that kind of power scares the natives.
yeah.
But it always does. What I'm saying is, you're going to have a hard time persuading the natives that they need you around to begin with.
That's exactly what I'm facing, because this is extremely fast. Right.
You know, whatever.
That's exactly what's happening. Is that it's too weird for people to say, I want to buy this.
There you go.
So the trick is, how do I get around that?
You're on a real uphill climb.
I've walked in the middle of this. So you're telling me that you have mental mechanism that you can get someone to tell the truth all the time?
Turning it around, I think he has a mechanism.
It's a question.
It's like that. It's like that.
I don't make them tell the truth, but they cannot tell a lie.
Yeah.
They cannot tell a lie.
They can do that to me.
Yeah. But under oath. So we gotta have a stamp. I have my weapon. I should probably know your stamp, but
So first he has to testify that whatever he is about to say, under oath, he will speak only the truth. Once he is verified in writing, then and only then can you bring your power or influence to bear. Is that right? But he has to first swear under oath.
say again?
I've perjured myself in court before.
Yeah, it's in my case. It's for my sponsorship. It's through my sponsorship that
See, he's wondering why he couldn't, you know, we already addressed this issue, like, why, if I have this ability to ensure that no lies are spoken, so it's turning like the truth, you know, not that you compel to speak the truth, you compel to
not to lie,
Not to lie.
which is basically just as good.
or if you could, if what you're about to say then would not be the truth, then you're basically mute, speechless. Okay. So, but as he's like talked to various tribunals or courts or bar associations, like, we're not particularly interested in that. Why? Because as we know, the law isn't interested in the truth. It's only interested in strategic advantage. You know, I want to win, and whatever I need to do to obtain strategic advantage.
If the person is going to tell the truth, you're not going to ask that witness a question that you, A, don't know the answer to, and B, don't want brought up in that situation. So you're only going to ask a question of that
Well,
witness.
you already anticipate the answer.
Yeah.
God forbid they should like step in. You know, your witnesses can step in, have you, in effect, your question, step in a big cow pie.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, holy crap. I mean, why did I address this witness with a line of questioning that led to this result?
You need to steer
It's
it.
all about steering.
You need to
Exactly.
steer it. That's what when I
Witnesses don't testify, they're vehicles that are driven.
that and
The lawyers are driving.
witness prep is
And a witness is a vehicle that they get into to get to where they want to go.
preparing a witness is supposed to be against ethical standards.
Yeah.
However, it is done
Every
every single day. It's got to be like day 3 of law
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
That, okay, here's what you do. You can't say that you're prepping your witness. However, you can tell your witness, you know, when
Yeah.
the other side asking you questions, yes, no, quick.
Yeah.
It knocks out your ability, sir. But if you figure out a way of getting someone to tell the truth all and signing their name,
Well, here's the thing. I am an old Republic, and I can swear somebody in. So this is the actual opportunity to lie to me. Is it right hand or left hand? Right hand.
if you're an older Republican, you don't know that, and
No. I don't swear to two people in that often. But if you want, we can go ahead and try it.
Well,
I'm having a beer.
See, he's unable to lie. See, that's my premise. You get it? He's unable to actually say the lie. He doesn't want to. He doesn't. See, remember the excuse thing?
no,
Remember before the
I
excuse?
think what we're addressing here is of credulity. You know, whether we're on a topic.
What I'm saying is that
It doesn't seem credible. So credulity is going to be stretched. Credibility is going to be stretched too far when, in all fairness to Ron, he said, damn it, I just came in to have a drink. Not to have my credibility.
But I did mention that our excuses are made to avoid it. I did mention that earlier, right?
Well, and by the same token, we're not compelled to like sit in a bonfire.
I understand. He said earlier
the pressures
Right.
inherent in that kind of forum. This is a bar.
He said earlier he was willing to lie, so I just thought we could go through it.
I do it every day. What makes you special? I don't like you. I like everybody else.
Under oath, though. You want to do it?
No, I don't want to do it.
No, he doesn't want to do it. Right there. See?
Does that make me a liar? Does that prove your point? It doesn't prove anything.
I think all makes Ron right now is disinterested.
Well,
He's just disinterested.
do you understand where I might think that I have this thing going on? It's true. This thing.
If I thought there was one shred of credibility to what you're saying, I would take my coat off, I'd get a pen out, and I'd sign your statement, and I'd have you interrogate me. However, A, I doubt Just any credibility to it at all. Not to impugn your skill. B,
No, you said you were willing to lie or something in there, so I figured I'd give you a
No,
shot.
so if it's all okay with you, Chris, we will let the subject matter rest. What do we bullet one thing. Bullet? Yeah, well, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called bullet. That was 1980. Yeah, right.
More toothpicks? And I'll take another here.
You want a straight beer or do you want tomato?
I'll take a straight beer.
Pretty much got the wet swallow today. You want fours again? Fours or three? Fours.
Smelling better. Probably not going to be here too much longer. One last question. Is it okay?
Yeah.
If you read this, you read that that's the case you're going to hit. Let's see, what is involved? Let's see, you versus that. So this is for the alleged perjury committed by the client and the client's court. He began to all the client did not. Otherwise, undisputed and agreed role. And asked the right for the statement prior to the statement to get the usual claim or maybe give a sworn statement, otherwise undisputed the role. Subject to consideration. With that, it's so simple. Just make a statement and sign it, right? Get it to me. Instead, they filed this big ass document. They spent probably, I don't know, 10 man hours getting this thing put together. And all they do is give it done. So it indicates to me they're unable to sign the statement because there will be a lie, and if they decide to use this to try to stifle me, do you understand my point?
The other side of it is, they just didn't want to deal with a character who was besmirching the law firm's integrity. Yeah, they didn't want to deal with a character who was besmirching the law firm's integrity. You know, they're a law firm. Law firms don't lie. Who are you to come along and say that these cases swear to a matter of not having proven themselves at law? That's beneath their dignity, as one would put it. just that simple. It's beneath the law firm's
But
dignity.
that's what the law is for, is to find out the truth.
But the truth came out in the court of law, and not in their verifying after the fact, in sworn statements that they did not lie in court. They went to court, they do what you do in court, they ostensibly spoke the truth. And so they will not be approached, again, because it's beneath their dignity after the fact, they have, if I need to be so blunt, a peon demand that one of the biggest law firms in the state of Minnesota has to now verify that they did not lie in court. They ain't gonna put up with that.
Have you heard this guy?
I worked for Robin Jones.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep, I worked with them on a contract on a big handball case.
You can prove that theory works. I mean, you should be the next FDA, but you're going to have people, the only person that's going to really know it.
Do you need anything else?
I might need some more land in a little bit.
Okay, so we got going.
Now, of course, we began this service. They began to drive order in the court.
Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Johnny Davis Jr.
Oh, that one.
Forgot to lock it. We had to go and lock the building. And I forgot. Oh, actually, I was just thinking that you'd probably be coming back, Tom, was all. Yeah. Saw me. That's right.
You done right.
Yeah, I think about too long.
That's the thing made about, you know, the little peon trying to tell us what to do.
No disrespect.
No, that's what it is.
Right, quite frankly. There's just one guy.
Imagine it, right. They still call it.
Yeah.
He thinks he can mess with us?
Yeah, exactly. There'd be the Pharisees in this case, Jesus would be alleging follow.
Yeah, he thinks that he can make us tell. The problem is that I can't get anybody to say anything. I can't get anybody to say anything in the legal system. I can't accuse anybody of anything. I can't get any answers out of anybody. But once they get discovery commenced, they run around that. They run around that to get stuff done. It's like, I asked politely 3 times in an email, can you send me a statement? They say, fuck you, every time.
Now, when you're pro se, you're not a licensed attorney, you're a private individual who, according to the law, is entitled to speak for himself, but that's just another way in which the system pays lip service. You're entitled to your own legal representative, and you're afforded no respect whatsoever. No, that's right. You're just a guy on the outside, you look at him, on his calendar. Here you go. I go one pound about it. It will take one
150 billion Warren Buffett goes network makes billion. How would this get me? Someone give me 1% of it? All right, good. What do we charge them? 91
Well, that's crazy. And you look at New York, how much the building was, it's 50,000. Empty, a million or 50,000.
always makes money. This is, my second best investment was my home. First best investment was my engagement with my wife. And he bought,
He's still driving, what are you driving? He's driving a Cadillac, right?
the grass is way safe for when he bought his house, $21,000, 54, and he still lives in the same house.
You gotta love it, you gotta. It's just a person, all right? No need,
Lincoln, Omaha, one of the two towns. Okay? And my dad, who passed away, would do that. Money meant nothing to my dad. Family meant everything to him. Money was just like, yeah, and he did okay, you know. We owned his home, we owned his farm. And when he passed away, they sold the farm and all of us got our little people. And, you know,
Got a follow-up question? If lawyers are sinister, right? Well, it can be. If there's some sinister going on, that means it's possible they would just go to every advantage to possibly be deceptive and lie, right? So we just mentioned that it's, and how dare, or they're not accusing them of perjury, which is something that they would do in their advantage if they get away with it. Why is that so bad for me to accuse them of that and for them to answer?
Because men who operate in the sphere of darkness do not want to be shown the light, nor do they want to be exposed under the light of truth, because that isn't where they operate. Context is everything. So even though if the devil operates in darkness, he has an aversion to light. And if you come along with a lamp, you're not going to be enjoyed. You're not going to be respected, accepted, any of that.
By anybody, by either the court, the judge, or
You're out.
There's no way to bring
You're
a light.
outside the context.
There's no way to bring a light to the courtroom.
No.
How do I get some money for this?
Get some money from what? What?
Just spend people that are in cases and just to advertise.
Go to law school, Rich.
Huh?
Go to law school.
I tried. I can't pass. Build the LSAT the problem.
yeah, my LSAT score is right at 161.
You did?
Yep. Got to get 44. Oh, another one. And, one was,
Well, I
You didn't go to law school?
I had a baby instead.
I don't know.
Yeah. How much is that?
Man, when I finished at Mankato State, they told me to apply to 10 law schools. 3 that are like complete long shots if they like your application. 4 you know you'll get into, and then the rest in the middle you'd like to go to. So I applied to Harvard, Yale, and Princeton, which of course I got really nice letters. They said, well, thank you.
About $300 each or what?
$50.
$50 each then.
And I applied to, I got into University of South Dakota, University of Iowa, which is a better school. Did not get into Minnesota. I was kind of thinking about that. The University of Georgia, which I used to live there. And the University of Nebraska. I think it's great. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. But now my law school course is expired. It's been 4 years. My LSAT. I love the LSAT test. It's all it is a test of how you think. And it's amazing.
My problem is that I read real slow. That's the problem. I just kill me like that.
If you read slow, you're not going to pass the LSAT.
That's what I'm saying. I like it too. The problem is that I read technically kind of like too slow. I'm technically reading.
Everything I went through, just I just want to hand myself.
What's that?
If I was standing trial under the allegation that you've wasted just so much of your life, and that was like all the, whatever the law school crap and the LSAT and then the go.
I bought the books for the LSAT.
I'm guilty.
I still have the books for the LSAT prep. And MCAS I've never even touched. Medical school, I did not have a hard science background. All my undergrad stuff was strictly in
What was your bachelor's?
political science. And I bought pigs for a living. Literally. I artificially inseminate cows for a living.
My wife could have had kids, but I never was in during the 3 years I was in law school, and I never was and if you had them that actually, the only other boy would have been me. I wasn't any kind of husband or father for 3 years. And I had 16 hours a day in either study or class. Basically 7 days a week. I was basically pulling what I'm pulling now. As if now think about it, between the phone and this was like 8 in the morning to like 12 of my time. So I was on the bus, yeah.
I love that. I don't see me going back.
It's a big jerk off.
Where do you go? In the Matrix? Oh, that's and that wasn't at my state school, that was on the middle of the road one. But anyway, if you want my prep books for the LSAT test, Chris,
I checked into the California online course. So they have in California you can do it without the LSAT.
that's not correct. I would not hire an attorney that didn't have Juris Doctorate.
No, you get the Juris Doctorate through California. You can only operate in California. You get your degree, it's a Juris Doctorate, and you get the degree, and then you pass the test in California.
Yeah, that's like the hardest state to pass it. It's like the lowest percentage of test takers passing the exam but the lowest percentage of people sitting with the bar exam.
You know what I'm talking about,
California bar exam of the year. I don't know what it is right now, but it's probably 50%, after we can take the tax.
Well, in the past and next year.
Yeah,
Actually,
I say a perennial testing.
Actually, I'm a great test taker. I passed 3 tests.
You couldn't pass the LSAT.
I can't, I'm not a speed reader. But you know, technically, I passed, I take tests for computer stuff, and with little experience, I passed those. Other than the LSAT, I'm very good test taker.
Trying to say, 12. Got 18, and of course, you got I don't know why this is so, but that's the way we have to go through life.
I'm just buying a big glass anyway, so I'm gonna drink them anyway.
I gotta say, that's a cool title. I thought pigs. That's good. I love it.
My actual title is Reading Department Management. Boil it right down, I put a piece of plastic up in a solid vagina and put a bag into it.
Is that because pigs can't fuck on their own now? Because I know turkeys are all bred so they're all messed up now. Is that the same thing? Pigs can't actually mate anymore? Or? Oh.
No, it's just more control, and the genetics are correct, and it's easier to
Tying everything right for the offspring and everything, yeah. I mean, they have, I assume what, pigs have what, a period every 2 weeks or what?
It's like a woman every 21 days.
Like a female, like a human?
Yeah, exactly.
Really? Holy shit. Is it related to the moon then, or what? Is all species like that, or what? Like, how about chicken?
I have no idea what to do. I'm just telling you, I know that swine every 21 days, and you try to cover a lot of bases on that.
Yeah.
Control the amount of light that they receive, expose tomatoes, feed, and we're right about 94% of the time.
The knock-up rate, you mean?
Yeah.
I think some females just are capable of breeding, just like humans, Exactly. They go to the slaughterhouse. With the female lifespan, they'll raise kids, they'll have how many litters before they bring them to the butcher?
8 or 9. 2.5 liters a year.
Oh, wow, great. That's why I'm saying at the period, that's why I don't expect the period to be the same as humans, but
you don't want them though. You breed them 21 days from now, cycling.
Yep.
Breed them again, 21 days on the road, they cycle again, they're gone.
Yeah. Everybody's back, huh? How many pigs at your place? Hey, you got a big ass farm, I take it. What, 10,000 pigs or?
Sure. 2,500
Mommies, holy shit, Jesus.
and
Oh my God, you guys are putting on a lot of pigs, man.
18,000 babies a year at that place. System-wide, we got 30,000 cows. So we're putting on about 800,000
You guys don't handle the butchering end. You guys just pretty much breed them and pass them on. It's illegal? Butcher?
Vertical integration is illegal in Minnesota and Iowa. If you produce an animal, you can't get involved in the slaughter. Everything we produce goes to Swift and before they pay. Or Malin, everything.
Another state, right?
Hello? You asked me what I know?
So he's that combo or? No combo. No combo?
Apparently they weren't able to get anything yet. They keep working on it.
The team will have to be recorded, huh?
How you doing?
Got her now? To make life interesting.
Well, yeah, it's a little research challenge.
All that quarters they delivered today, and that was all wrong. 90% of it. So I was supposed to get 10 cases of 12 packs, 25 or 24s, and they brought all 12 packs. I don't know what's going to happen. They might have to take them back, or if I can. They made a price adjustment so that. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't. I mean, I think I would have been pinched to have it pinched hand like that. Yeah, did we lose a bottle of liquor downstairs? What was it? The syrup trap? Yeah, I got one of those. I was gonna say, it was like, yeah, I opened it up this morning and thought, man, we got a water leak in here. I was actually gratified to find out it was sticky. Meaning that the bottom of the drop.
No, I mean that's pretty. That's like my. Well,
You know what's funny? No one's going to believe you.
what, that you predicted that something was going to happen today and it didn't?
Mm-hmm.
You know, my story that I psychically saw a hotel, or talked to a hotel room and went to her hotel room, that still beats it, but you're getting pretty close. It really, that's pretty close, pretty good. I mean, now if you had said there'd be an earthquake, you didn't have to say where. If you said there's going to be a major earthquake, and it did occur, that would top my hotel room thing. But it's still,
Are you sure you didn't see her key with the number?
No. I didn't even talk to her. I wasn't even 50 feet from her. She was on the beach, and I was having a tan. I just decided to have a conversation with this.
But the thing is, what I'm getting at is, you wouldn't know even if you saw it. It could go directly to the subconscious, and you took that information from your database when you were there. You could have picked it up somehow.
No, I didn't talk to her. I didn't even, like I said, I wasn't even 50 feet close to her. It was all a remote psychic conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing we were chatting in our head for seemed like 10, 15 minutes. Even though I was on the beach for an hour or something or whatever. It was just, after I got off the beach, I went to the hotel and I went to the room, and there she was.
Too bad you didn't know who it was.
Yeah, that's true. I was a little bit freaked out. I didn't,
And too bad you don't remember the number.
well, the numbers, I should have said, I should have chatted about having a psychic conversation and see what she would have said.
You never keep notes, dude.
I keep notes now. I wasn't keeping them back then.
Good.
Why do you think I record everything now?
That's not keeping notes.
That is keeping notes.
Well, if you're on the street, you're not recording everything. Just keep a notebook with you. A little tiny book. But if I were to explain that, I would say that you saw that number connected to her. And the thing is, we see a lot of things all day, and our conscious mind doesn't know we see them, but it goes to the unconscious mind. And it stays there, like a record. Then when you need something, it just pops up. Do you understand?
Like I said, man, if you had said there would be an earthquake today and this happened, I would probably get on a plane ticket, go see you, and bow to you. But you didn't, so now I still got you topped.
Okay, what about the war thing?
What war thing?
The end of 2012?
Oh, well, I don't believe that. I mean, that's a long time away. I mean, that's something that's too far away to think about. That's a year and 3/4 away. Almost 2 years. I'm not gonna think about that, but you said something big was gonna happen today, and it did. So I mean, that's impressive.
Just 1 year time.
Yeah, man, it's
Who's the love guy?
is talk show host Nate Perkins. He and his partner, photographer Fernando Benachea, were vacationing in Sri Lanka in 2004.
We heard a
Still
sound.
don't know what they're going to do with the dollar.
It was a fence post or whatever it was. And
Many possibilities. They want to close it down by 2012. Well, they say the dollar will be over by 2012. Will be dead.
and started swirling around.
Soon they were carried away by a
That
40
can mean
mile-an-hour surge of water.
Everything else evaporates, Bob.
monetarily,
When you're trapped in the tsunami.
Hang on a second. Hang on.
How to get out of it, you're not thinking about
Sorry.
anything, you just need air in your
Shit. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Say again?
what was that? You were watching?
Listening to some of this disaster stuff. What were we saying now?
So what else happened?
Oh, I'm just. I don't know.
to the of this natural disaster.
While some survivors lost the people closest to them.
You know, this is not psychic. This is just getting connected to the news.
So you have connections to the. You got your information thing from.
I'm just listening.
And you got your information though from the Illuminati, right? And they use that one ray gun. What's it called?
What?
What's that ray thing? Up in Canada?
They won't need to do that.
What's that thing called?
HARP.
HARP. Yeah, they didn't use that.
I don't think so. If they did it, they would use a. They have tsunami bombs.
Who's got tsunami bombs?
The New World Order.
Oh, come on.
They had tsunami bombs. They were planning to detonate the tsunami bombs in the year of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But they went with the A bomb.
Come on.
This is old stuff, dude. Old stuff. Very old stuff.
About, what truth is, right? What is going on when
You don't think that you should go to somebody, I don't want to call a chiropractor's quacks, but you don't think you should go to a real medical doctor with like a physical muscle guy and an MD?
No, I'm a firm believer in chiropractor. It's just, you know, when one says completely different than the other, yeah, I definitely believe in chiropractor. I went to the VA to get my shoulder checked out because I partially dislocated it, and they didn't want to give me an X-ray. So,
Yeah.
they said it was minor. I got a big ass, one of those big like brownish bruises all over my right chest.
Yeah.
Because of it, which means that it was something occurred, but it was a minor dislocation or minor separation.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. But what does make me nervous is when he's like, "Oh, come back in 2 days for another treatment," and I'm like, so you got to worry about these people that are taking everybody that just want to get you there and take your money.
Well, that's typically the way chiropractors operate. They've always been that way. I had some experience with them in the 60s, and my parents were bringing me there two or three times a week, and they were draining us for all our money, and they were, I was getting worse. And finally, I actually had a chiropractor that was an honest one, and he said, "You know something? You've been to see me three times, and I don't think I could fix you." He said, "I think you need to go to the Mayo Clinic." And he actually recommended me to go to the Mayo Clinic, and I went to the Mayo Clinic, and I had my problem for like 5 months, and it was terrible. I mean, I was in pain all the time, and I went to the Mayo Clinic. I couldn't pick up a pencil without hurting my neck or my back, and in 2 weeks I was swimming at the swimming pool. That's how good they were at the Mayo Clinic.
Really?
Can you hold a second, Roll, or Curly's calling me?
Yep.
Just hold on a second. You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. The Curly's at the show down at Morton.
Okay.
At the RV show. So.
RV, is that outside? Outside?
No, it's inside in the big where they have the concerts. They got 4-wheelers, motorcycles, boats, campers, and Curly's selling wind generators and solar panels for that other company he's working for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went down there last night and checked it out. It's going the whole weekend till tonight till 9, and I knew we couldn't go tonight if we were going to go to the basketball game, so that's why we went last night, and then I might run down tomorrow afternoon if I get a chance.
He's selling wind gen. You mean those big windmills?
Yeah, he's selling wind generators and solar panels for Carol, his wife's brother.
Yeah.
Tim, Carol's brother, has a company that sells wind generators and solar panels, and they install them.
Good God, how much of wind generators are huge? That's
Oh,
gotta be...
they go up to, I don't know, they go up to $30,000, but they got incentives now where, depending on where you get your, what's that noise in the back?
I don't know.
It always goes,
It's probably my crappy Skype service.
Must be. Anyway.
Huh. So.
Now I got somebody else calling me.
All right. I'll wait.
Just give me a second.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? So let's go back. What are you going to do about your shoulder now then?
Well, I'm just taking it easy. I kind of want to just. I'm a believer in this computer technology too. So I mean, this thing they use, this activator, is computer driven. It's completely hooked up, and it's interesting. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just a red flag when they say come back in 2 days, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. You know?
Yeah, I know. I know.
This lady in the cities is just. I call her a miracle worker, man. And she's never said that. Come back and come. She's never made an appointment for me. She's never made a recommendation to come back in a week. Or she said, well, do you want to come back in a week? And I said, well, let me think about it. I think she's maybe has said that, but never said I recommend you come in. I don't know. It is just, this lady doesn't do that, and she fixes it up. Really, I mean, she's really honest.
Well, if you have your trust in her, maybe she's the one that, at least if she can't fix you, she could tell you who could fix you. You know?
Yeah.
Or these other guys. I just know the chiropractors are notorious for getting you to come every week, once or twice a week, for $75, $80 a crack, and that's how come they're living in the nicest houses in town, and that kind of thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't that suck? Doesn't that whole thing suck? It's it's damn it. I'm pretty healthy, and this right shoulder is not the hugest issue, but it just makes you wonder about the medical field when you just hear a complete contradiction to what's going on. It's
I could tell you about the whole medical field, and it's all it is the whole medical field in the healthcare thing. All it is a scam. It's all about making money. That's the whole deal. So there's it's unfortunate, but it turned into just like the oil business, where all it is greedy people making money. Why do you think our medical system is the most expensive medical system in the world? I mean, we pay more dollars per person in medical care than any country in the whole world, and we're ranked number 36 in the quality of our care. So what does that tell you? They don't care. All they want is money, and they charge too much, and they don't give you anything for your dollar. I mean, if we were ranked number 1 and we were charged number 1, then it would be different. But we're ranked number 36, and we're charged the most money of anybody. So I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, man. I don't know, oh boy. Anyways, yeah. How you feeling today?
Oh, not too good. I didn't have a very good night, but I decided just that today I wasn't going to eat any food, so just going to drink liquids and try to get by. I got to run into this convenience store for a second. I'm over in Franklin. Just got to go over and ask these guys a question.
Oh, you're not at the store?
No.
Oh.
Esther's up. Oh, they're closed. What in the heck? They're closed down. I'm at that convenience store right on the highway, and they're closed down.
Yeah, they had a fire.
They did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They had a fire? Well, all the junk is off their shelves. Huh. I wonder what the deal is there.
Yeah, they had to rebuild.
They got Powerball sign lit up in the window, but
I think it was a partial fire. It kind of like took down part of the place, and they had to restore it.
Well, there was supposed to be an auction over here today, and I can't find that stupid thing. There's no place. I guess I don't know where the auction place is. I've never been over here. But I thought there was supposed to be an auction, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I screwed up or read the date wrong, but I thought it was today. What's the date today? The 12th or the 10th or something like that?
Today's the 12th.
The 12th? I'll go and see once if there's the bars over here. Maybe I could figure out that. An old farmer in front of me drives two.
Remember when we had that meeting? We were just after, you know, when they remember that phone conference we had with Dale on the phone, right?
When are you talking about?
Well, when we're in Silverthorne, and it was the police were there, and we had this phone conversation. It was
in the condo that Aaron and I were staying at.
Yeah, and oh, shoot, I lost my train of thought here. It was
It was you and Aaron and Mona and I and Dwayne, I think.
Yeah, there was sort of this when they told us the news.
When they told us that it was changed from death investigation to a homicide.
Yeah, it seemed like, okay, right there, right when they did that, Aaron and Mona grabbed their hands in some kind of, I want to call it theatrics. You didn't, me and you are displaying, I cannot believe that we're actually, you know, part of this, but I don't know, it was just sort of strange. There was almost a drama queen, drama stuff. Now, is this just the way people act, or are we taking light of the matter that's occurring? I speak.
I don't know what you're asking, I guess. What are you? Mona thought it was all along, Dale. Aaron thought it was more on the suicide. And me, you know, I didn't really know what to think because I really wanted to think it wasn't him. But I mean, that's what made it official, you know, that night that they took the kids and, right?
Yeah, there's this, I'm concerned about the theatrics of, you know, I don't get along too well with Aaron, but I really didn't like the way he conducted himself in that interview with Dale playing double agent, where he's got everybody in the room, including the social services and the police, and conducting himself like he's a friend to Dale. And then playing his friend, and then in the ceremony we had, he's like, Dale, you are my best friend. You know,
No, that's not what he said. He said, you've always been my brother-in-law. We've never been friends, but in the past 2 weeks, or whatever it was, we've become more like brothers than brother-in-laws. You know, they spent a lot of time together.
I'm pretty sure he said, I'll look at the video, but I'm pretty sure he said, you are my friend. And that's okay, that's okay.
Yeah, because he wasn't convicted yet, you know, of being her murderer.
Yeah.
He wasn't, no, there was nothing out yet.
I question that me and Aaron had an argument, and it related to the fact that I don't like his two-face of that moment, when that conversation. I didn't like that, and I didn't like the way he conducted himself in the following, right after that with the Dale. He was calling up. He's calling up what's his name? The Steph's good friend, that guy friend. and conducting himself in a two-faced fashion. It appears as he's getting off on the double agent thing, and he doesn't seem to realize that somebody has died here. Somebody is dead, and he's getting off on the he's getting off on the
That's a conversation for you to have with him, because I don't know what good this is going to do for you and I.
Well, I was just wondering if he doesn't want to talk to me, so I just figured I'd this makes me...
I can't begin to say I know what he's feeling, because I don't think that's fair for anybody to say that we know what someone else is feeling. But I'm pretty sure he knows that stuff's dead, if that's what you're wondering.
Yeah, it is the drama queen aspect of...
Well, you know what, that was right away. Have you got to kind of move on from there, too, Chris. A lot has happened since then.
Yeah, I said from day one that Dale did this, and I knew I was correct. I'm pretty sure of that still. But since then, I started on... I shouldn't say anymore. I have suspicions of Aaron's behavior is not cool to me. In that investigation.
I think you got to work on that then, because you're not pulling me in on that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And you have done nothing but sacrifice for the last 3 months, so I think you need to focus on that. Instead of trying to find out what he has done wrong, you need to focus on what he's done right, because he did pretty much sacrifice a lot for Steph's family.
Yeah. That's, it's,
and I guess that's just where it's got to end, because that's where it's at for me, so.
Yeah. What's that for me is that Steph is dead, and that concerns me. And I'd like to find out exactly what happened. And I think it's more than just...
Well, Aaron has nothing to do with that.
Aaron was talking with Dale for 5 weeks before this. And I'd like to know what exactly he's talking to him about that would cause Dale to kill Steph.
That's not Aaron's fault. Dale is the one who snapped, Chris. And, Dale was talking to me, too, a little bit. He was just desperate. He was desperate for holding on. He was desperate to keep his family together. But the problem is that it was too far gone. It wasn't, and then she was trying to leave, and that made him panic, lose control, and there you go. And you lost it. You can't blame that on anybody. What Dale did is Dale's fault. He can't blame that on anybody else. There's no one else to blame. And you know what? The last thing we should be doing is blaming the members of our own family.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit...
We can't change the end result, so blaming each other isn't going to do us any good, except destroy whatever's left.
Yeah, I know. It's that made mention to Kathy. I didn't really like her telling Steph that it's okay to her have an affair and stuff. So, and, I know what you mean. It's like, I hate to... It's one of these things that it's almost best not to even think about Steph anymore. Because when I think about it, I think about the people who were involved in Steph's life at the end, which caused Dale to get pissed off.
Right.
And
but it doesn't change the end result, and, he's the only one, he's going to have to be the one who suffers for the rest of his life because he did this to himself. I mean, nothing like going from a family of 5 to nobody left in your family.
I know, it's, yeah, it is, you know, yeah, it's one of these, it's just, it is almost best not to talk about stuff. It really is, because if I start thinking about it, I just think about all the people that just, I don't know, it just sucks. It just sucks, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, is it, if Dale did do it, it doesn't matter who was impacting on Dale's, who was pressing Dale's buttons? That doesn't matter? What I'm saying, huh?
If anything, he was calling Aaron, he was calling me, because he was worried about her, you know, which is fine, but we never talked to the guy. I mean, I never had a conversation with him on the phone prior to any of that, so there was definitely turmoil going on. And Steph wasn't the one reaching out, it was Dale, because he was starting to lose control. Because she was starting to find a way out. She was starting to figure out how to, you know, get away. And if you do the research in women in these situations, I mean, it takes 7 or 8 tries before they will successfully get away from a husband who is a controller. And a lot of times it ends in murders.
A lot of times? I think it's pretty rare. I don't hear about
90% of the time where there is a murder that occurs, it's the husband.
Well, why do you think I convicted Dale at the beginning? Of course I knew this. I mean, it was just obvious to me. I'm just saying, is there an excuse for all the button pushing going on? Is there ever an excuse for, is there ever an understanding of murder? In other words, you're a Jesus believer and want forgiveness. Do you understand that perhaps there was a lot of buttons being pushed?
Oh, I'm not saying that there wasn't. I'm not saying that there wasn't turmoil, but there's also such a thing as, you know, seeing counseling. And neither one of them were pursuing that or doing that. And, you know, he just lost it, I guess.
It really is a hard concept to do that. Us rollers are, you know, we're pretty mouthy, but we don't get physical too much. So it's a hard concept to believe that somebody could just go on off somebody like that.
Well, I think everybody's capable of it if you're pushed hard enough, and he probably was.
He thinks he's really confident he's going to get away with this.
Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see.
Boy. Anyway, so I'll let you go here.
Try not to dwell too much on it because it's not good for any of us.
It is a depressing thing. It really is a
Right.
like you said, we could end up having no family, you know.
We can't blame each other because it doesn't change anything. None of us lived out there. It was out of our control. We're going to do each other no good by blaming each other.
Yeah.
That's like the worst thing we could do. Unless you want to lose some other siblings in the process. You know, I mean, it's just not. If blame somebody else, but it doesn't get you anywhere because it's not going to change anything.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you go. Thanks for talking.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Could be better. I mean, right now the kids, let's see, the kids are with Aaron in California, and Kathy, my mom, is out there for 2 weeks to take care of him while Aaron was on vacation. And I guess Dale, the husband, who's the key suspect in this, right?
Right.
He's out in California for one of the kids' birthday party.
Aaron has him because he's the key suspect, is that it?
No, Dale, the husband's the key suspect. Aaron, you know Aaron, right, my brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has him because he's been sort of a key player in the investigation, I guess. I don't know. He just was a key player in the whole mess.
Okay.
And I guess maybe during the summer or spring or summer, Aaron's going to hand the kids off to Carrie or something like that. So that's what's going on there. It's I was talking with somebody in town here, and they're a little weirded out by. First of all, you got this crazy Chris Rolla guy who thinks he's God, right? And then they follow that up, and then this happens with Steph, and they think, I didn't think I could be weirded out more than Steph's death. It is kind of a weird thing in this show of mine. First of all, I might have you on the wrong microphone. Can you hear me okay or no?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Oh, no, this is, I got you in the right one. Okay. No, it's just, people are a little bit mesmerized by the whole, this is pretty bizarre what happened with Steph,
Right.
And,
I agree.
And I've known that from day one, that, this is somehow, I don't know if it's related to me, but it definitely borders on definitely weird and the paranormal in almost a sense. Have we talked since like when I called you when Steph was missing? Have we talked since then?
Yes, he called to tell me that she was found.
Oh yeah, so basically that. So it's been a few months. Since we talked.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just a little bit. When I was over there in Silverthorne, after I talked with you, we all went for the ceremony. The ceremony. The wake, whatever you call it,
right.
Celebration of death, or whatever you call those things, memorial, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me and Aaron don't get along too well. I didn't appreciate Aaron's demeanor throughout the investigation, as though this is almost a fun time. It's almost like there's people that are in this investigation, and they're like trying to plant seeds here and there, and you can tell there's people that are get off on investigations. Okay, there's people that really enjoy that, and I can understand that. It is just Aaron was doing it, and it seemed like he was getting off more than he was understanding that his sister is dead. There was this phone call that the four kids and the police and social services were there, and Aaron was playing double agent to call up Dale, the husband, and, you know, tell him kind of the latest status. So this is just when they've decided, or not decided, when they've upgraded the investigation to a murder-homicide investigation. Then we're calling Dale to let him know about that. And Aaron's masquerading the fact that it's just the four of us in the room, and then in fact there's police and social services, and I just didn't think that was very cool. Aaron considers Dale his friend, and I just didn't think that was very cool to be doing that to anybody, even it was just a, you know, it was a game. He was playing double agent because he thought that would be fun. Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the police must have wanted him to do it, though, right?
No, it was Aaron's idea. You know, they didn't turn him down or anything, but it was just, I don't know, there's a way to conduct yourself honestly, even if you are, I don't know, it's just, so, Aaron and I got into a heated argument the next day, where I don't know if you know it or not, but for 5 weeks Dale was talking with Aaron, and I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out what buttons were pushed by somebody who's talking with Dale, that Dale could go off and kill Steph. And I had no input in Steph's life, nor Dale's. I didn't know they were going through a divorce. I didn't know Steph was having a hard time in life. But then I find out that Kathy was encouraging Steph to have this sort of a romantic affair thing going on. Instead of trying to, you know, work out the marriage, she's encouraging her to have an affair. So I'm unhappy with my mom, basically the people that had input in their life, which was everybody else. All my siblings were involved in that whole mess. I was left in the dark. Steph, he was emailing everybody except me. Yeah. So it's I was just a little bit unhappy with, you know, aside of the fact that I'm unhappy that she's dead, but I'm also unhappy with the way people conducted themselves that had input in their lives, that pushed maybe the button, the Dale's button, that said, "Hey man, I think it's time to kill." And for 5 weeks, Aaron was talking with Dale, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly are you talking to Dale about that would encourage him to do that? You know, I almost had an argument. Basically, we had a pretty serious argument where I'm borderline accusing him of participating in Steph's death because of the notion, and it's the people's input in the whole setup, and what would cause Dale to kill somebody. And I'm just wondering, what on earth are you talking to Dale about for 5 weeks? Anyway, so, go ahead.
Well, I mean, no matter what, still Steph is, 40 years old, Whatever she's doing, she's, responsible for it, right?
Yeah, yes, true.
You're right, she's got, the people in her life might not be, it's also I don't know, there's a lot going on there. You know what I mean?
There was a buttload of stuff going on.
You're probably not happy that you're being left out, right?
Well, when I found out about these things, I was like, what the hell, right? And and I'm not so much upset. I can now say that I did not have any participation in her death. Like, I borderline accused my mom of borderline killing Steph because of her participation in saying, yeah, go for the affair instead of saying, you know, work out the marriage, you know. So in that sense, I'm glad she didn't contact me because I had no participation in her death.
Right.
So, but I was wondering, what is it that would, yeah, well, why did Steph decide not to include me? It could be the fact that I'm gone, you know, mentally, or she didn't want to let her big brother down and let her know that she's kind of failing in life. I want to assume the latter. I don't want to assume that she was, you know, discriminating against me because I'm of my condition. I don't think she was. She's a good lady. She never really ever put me down, so I doubt that. Anyways, I'm not really worried about that too much as just the fact that I got a feeling if I had found out that they were having troubles, I think Steph would be alive today, because I would have been a mentoring to Dale. I'm talking to Dale now. I've been talking to Dale since the death. And, you know, I wish that I had been a part of her life before when they were having trouble. I wish I'd known that they were having trouble. I would have called them up and said, you know, what's going on? And I sort of think that death wouldn't have happened. So, I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I don't know. I didn't know Aaron that well, right?
Yeah.
But I knew Carrie and Steph, and and your mom, and they all seem pretty much like, and Ramona, they all seemed pretty much like straight shooters, you know what I mean? Correct?
Yeah.
I mean, the only one that wasn't, who was really, you know, would be overly nice rather than a straight shooter was Steph. I don't think, as close as everybody is, or everybody was, I have a tough time believing that they would knowingly be part of that, you know what I mean? Like, and I could understand them being upset if you were like you said, borderline accusing them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that's just my impression, that's also 20 years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't have the same experiences as you have.
Yeah, it's almost just a topic. I almost just it's one is just talking about Steph. It just digs up bad wounds, and it's not like it's a tough situation. It'd be nice if I could just eliminate it from my mind, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm going to be constantly reminded about it when I see these kids, and then I hear that, you know, the kids are seeing, or people are visiting, you know, it's just, oh my goodness.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know, we go back a ways. I mean, this show of mine, I somehow think that Steph's death is somehow related to my show. And I've got this, you know, this kind of a weird show thing going on. It's very long. I'm impatient. Do you remember those emails that we were sending a while back? 99?
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, I was on a trip where I thought that, well, I could send you anything, and I think you weren't responding, so I just thought I could keep continuing, and it would allow my mind to continue into this world in which, of this show thing. I forget what I was sending you. Yeah, it was two people I was sending. I was sending a bunch to you, and oh yeah, I was sending a bunch to you. Jeez. And then occasionally you send back a message, and it would be like, I don't know, Nate. What do you think? Is there? Oh my God! Is there anything going on? Is this Truman Show for real, man? Am I in some kind of show? Are you there?
Yeah. And how would I respond?
I don't know. Are you a participant in my show or of some sort?
Chris, I'm trying to take one day at a time out here.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, getting answers is difficult. How's your kids are how old now?
15 and 13.
Are they in sports and stuff?
Band.
Band? What are they playing? What are they playing?
Drums.
Yeah, that's what you played for a while, right?
Yeah, I just did it. I didn't do it in the marching band. I just did it in our band.
Yep. Yeah, man. Those were the good times. Kind of wish I could go back to those days where you didn't have to, grow up, you know.
Oh, I know. Didn't realize how good we had it.
Yeah, you know, your parents are doing everything to take care of you, and it sort of put the shield around you that keeps you away from reality, you know.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah. So the kids are out with Aaron in California. Your mom's out there, right?
Correct.
Steph is back working, I'm sure, right?
You said Steph?
Or, I mean, Carrie's back working, teaching.
Yep.
And Ramona
is working in Atlanta for Delta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been studying. Kind of went back to school online to get back into programming, and I got certified, 2 certifications in this programming language called .NET. That's Microsoft's, you know.
Okay.
And I'm just having a difficult time getting a job. And so it's very frustrating.
Yeah, it's not an easy time to get a job though anywhere right now either.
Boy, there's a lot of openings in the programming area that I do. I don't know, it's easy to believe that everybody does a background check these days, and they usually do it before they even give you a call on a resume. So they look up Christopher Roller, and they find out that I'm within 2 minutes, so they can find out about things, and you know. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
they find out everything about me in 2 minutes, and they judge me based on it,
Right.
instead of looking at my certifications or anything. Damn. And then I'm getting, I think, shunned in the professional world. And when I was in college, the punchline is that it seems like who I perceived as friends aren't really the best of friends, I guess. In college, I had this good friend from the Navy. In the Navy, we both went to the same college. So, 4 years, golfed all the time, hung out. But people don't want to have interaction with me. It's a sad world, man. Now that they find out about, now that I'm different, they don't want to remember me.
Well, we're also at an age that it's not easy to find time to do those things, you know.
Well, I mean, like something like Facebook, putting in,
Okay.
a friend request for Facebook. Now, I don't have you, but I haven't really tried yet to add you. But are you even on there?
Actually, I am.
Okay.
Because I joined because of I don't have any friends per se. I just have my nieces and nephews, you know.
Yeah, I'll add you here. I'm assuming you're gonna grab. Otherwise, I'm talking about you. Then, but these people, it's an amazing thing. The acknowledging a friend request. How hard can that be? But I've evidently upset them so much that they can't even. They can't even. And this goes back to the Navy. A lot of Navy folks. Friend request turned down. But this guy from college is just it's a depressing thing, man. And it's weird. If he could hang with me again, he'd realize I'm just a normal cat with a weird story. Because anybody I hang with today understands that I'm pretty normal. And has no problem being a friend request. It is good friends from GE when I worked at GE. Really good friends with these guys at GE. They do not even want to even acknowledge. They turn down a friend request, and it's just I freak people out, I guess, you know.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Not because you're easy to, or because you freak people out. It's because you've got they don't know you where you're at right now.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. And do you have time, or do you have time, they have time, and do you have a place to spend time together anymore? Who knows? You know
Well,
what I mean?
it's these friend requests aren't really, they're not, it's not like I'm taking up much of their day.
No, I realize that. I'm not saying that that's, I'm not saying that that's part of it. What I'm saying is that they don't know who you are right now. You see what I mean?
I know, but like I said, this one guy, it's such that not even saying hi, not even acknowledging it is really a slap in the face. It really is. I mean, it makes you just question humanity. It really does.
Yeah. I agree. However, not to play devil's advocate here,
Yep.
but the other forms of social media that you have used in the past, like your website, right?
Yep.
Like email, correct?
Yep.
Has been part of your world too,
Yeah.
right?
But it hasn't been part of this guy's world. In fact, in '99, when I was flipping out big time, I did talk to him in Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
just because I needed a friend to talk to, right? So
Right.
he did get a glimpse into my weird world, and he didn't. It was actually a good way for me to sort of get it out, right? Because he was a good guy that said, "Oh, hey man, I'm with you," you know. And this was the way that most people were back in '99. This is '99. No matter what weird thing I could say, they were always comforting in some sort. But that's the only time he ever got wind of anything weird, other than the fact that I have mentioned that this Jesus thing, right?
Right.
I have talked to him on the phone. This guy, his name is Rob, and I was gonna go visit him. He's in the Atlanta area. I was visiting Ramona, and I was gonna drive 2 hours and go visit him and say hi. He didn't call back. Didn't call back twice, and I don't know. I talked to him. I've talked to him in the last month or two ago, 3 months ago. But when I decided to make a visit down there, that was the yeah, I don't know. It's just I tell you, I'm just weird, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Think about it this way: is that when you're on the phone with somebody, right?
Yep.
Or even if you meet, if you would meet, like, out for dinner or, somewhere, correct?
Yep.
The people involved are just you and he, okay?
Yeah.
But that social media site, right, Facebook,
Yep.
anything you post is posted for all 100 and some friends, or whatever, how many friends they've got.
I never thought about that. People don't want to be associated with me in case.
Well, I'm not saying that they don't want to, but who knows? A, who knows what you're going to post, correct? And B, you don't know who they have as their friends. Is it a bunch of business associates too? You know what I mean? Is it a bunch of people that know you? You see what I mean?
I don't know why I never thought about that, but yeah. Yeah.
I see a lot of people, and a lot of people use that as a business way too. You know what I mean? Any social media is a way for contacts and stuff like that.
I never thought about it that way, but I mean, so everybody that's I got what, 40 some friends, everybody that's on there, including you potentially, could be at risk for losing their job because you're my friend who, if people look up you, if they look up you and I'm on there, they look at me and they go, wow, Nathan's a friend of this weird fuck, you know? What the hell?
Well, not necessarily, and I don't know if that's the gist of it, but hypothetically, if you post something, right, and you post something about, I don't know, your show or whatever, correct?
Okay. Yes.
Or you post something about your show and you are swearing up and down, correct?
Okay.
That's going to be posted on my wall, okay? Or if you post something on my wall, everybody who is on my nieces and nephews will get that. Or my business associates. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I've been very good about Facebook. I do my I'm sorry?
No, I agree. I'm not saying you're not.
Yeah, no, I see your point. I mean, you got a point. Definitely have a point. And I never thought about it, but yeah, people say you're my friend. I put something on my wall. I put on my wall, like, you know, my sister died. That goes on the news bulletin for all my friends, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And all of your friends' friends too. See, if I post something on your wall,
yep,
right? It'll say Nathan Lehman posted on your wall, or it'll say what I said.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens if somebody starts trying to mess with you on the wall? You see what I mean?
That's already happened, and somebody did say something silly, and I took this lady off of here. I've actually never had to kick anybody off of my friend list except this one, and she posted something. It was just bizarre. I mean, and I'm like, yeah. I was wondering these questions that you're talking about. Who saw that? I wonder. It wasn't horrible. It was just so weird. It was just like off the wall. Like, I can't remember what it was. It was like, so how come you didn't find me yesterday or something? Something like that.
Right. Well, and then what's unusual about it is that the context there's so much potential for misunderstanding stuff that goes on people's walls or responses to it or whatever, because you're missing half the story, or you're missing whatever the experiences are that they shared together or they didn't share together, or they're, you know, who knows how many inside jokes there are, you know.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention. That is important. And I'm actually a little shocked I didn't think of that. But, you know, associations can mean everything in this world, and it is just, you know, that's the level of friendship there. I have 40 some people. I mean, they essentially risk their career because of me.
Well, I don't know if I would necessarily go that far, but you do risk things, and you're right, there is some career risk, because hypothetically, if I'm doing something that I shouldn't, nowadays in today's world, and somebody takes a picture of something and posts it on the Facebook, and then it's gone to my 45, somebody responds to it, and it goes to another 100 and some, right?
Okay.
It's like an email. It's like the equivalent of an email being forwarded.
I know. That has got to be a nightmare for people that got 1,000 friends.
Absolutely. I know people who won't go on Facebook because they don't want to have that connection with old friends with new friends, or my high school life with my college life, or my high school life, college life, family life, you know what I mean? There are a lot of people that are like that. They don't want to do Facebook because then I have to accept friends from high school, you know, and all of my current business associates or my current friends or whatever know me as somebody other than what I was like in high school or college.
God.
Or when I lived down in Texas, or when I, you know.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. My profile, I do say that I'm God. I do say that. I just post my website, but it just didn't occur to me that people are risking their risking their profession by being associated with me. And I know you said that's not maybe exaggerated, but
well, I think it's an exaggeration to say that just by that posting you could have people lose their jobs. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. The case could be, though, is that depending upon the conversations or the postings that are being said or done or responding, right? That's when you can get that's when you can start getting questioned, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different world than we used to live in.
So do you have Tim Bundy on your friend list yet?
No?
All right. Well, if you don't add me, that's fine. I can understand now.
No, it's not a question of adding or not adding. That's not it. It's just, that social media is a very powerful, but it is a scary thing. So, you're right, I do have one, but, like I said, the only people that I have really are my nieces and my nephews, and I just do it to watch what they say. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh,
But
boy.
It's interesting, but it's also something that, like I said, some people don't want to be any part of because they don't want their different lives to collide. And then does that become your life? You know what I mean? Do you play Farmville and whatever the other games are that you could play?
I tell you, I had Renee Junkie as a friend, and then she took herself off, and I thought that was kind of low.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to understand a little bit better why that might occur. Again, I've only posted on my page, I think, 2 or 3 messages, and one of them was basically about Steph. But somebody did post I've had people post on my wall, and so I can definitely see where that would be a chain effect of unwanted news bulletins, you know. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up to my attention. I have a different perspective. I'm a little shocked that I couldn't think of that ahead of time.
Well, it's also that I mean, I think the main thing is that if you get worried about who accepts you or who doesn't accept you, then you're, that alone is probably a little too much caring.
Well, you got a point. I mean, why should I care why should I care even if I have 10 friends? I don't care. I mean, I'm actually surprised I've got, 40-some. I'm surprised people, now that you've mentioned this, that they would want to be associated with me.
Well, Chris, I don't mean it that way. I'm meaning it's not just you. It's a lot of people. I mean, I'm trying to think of how many people I would accept. If I did use it and posted things or cared to or didn't care to or whatever. It's part of the it's part of whatever you decide it's going to be. You know what I mean? You could think of it as the most important thing in the world, or you could think about it as something that you don't really care about, that you just sign up for.
One big slap in the face was Dan Copy, because we go back a ways. I mean, we don't go back from this high school, but we got together and started building a website together, iVote.com, and I sent a friend request out for him. That was a slap in the face to not get a response back from that. But I think it's more than just I'd be a bad reference to his profile professionally. I think it's more along the lines of he's kind of like Aaron. He just thinks that I might be evil. I think there's some of those people, and I'm just looking. I got 60 friends, and I'm just trying to debate. These people are all risking themselves. Could they be risking themselves to be associated with me? I'm just trying to realize that I might be wrong about that, and that it probably goes back to my. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at. I got 60 here, and there's no way that they're all risking their professional lives being associated with me. They just don't sign up to me because they think I'm evil, probably. Now I'm going back to that road.
Yeah,
I'm turning it around now.
But what I'm saying though is that part of it might be the whole worried about what goes on Facebook. Okay. The other part is that how many of the people that are saying no have really spent time with you in the last, 10 years? You see what I mean?
Well, the two that really hit are this Rob guy. I mean, I'm not. You said caring. I'm caring too much, but it's not like I'm concerned about every friend request. But a little bit about the Renee Junkie thing was concerning. The Dan Copy thing, definitely, and then this Rob guy. We go back, and then these guys at GE. So I mean, I don't talk about it. I don't talk about this too much. So I guess I shoved about 6 people into the pool, but this guy with this Rob dude, it's a sad deal. We were really close, man, and it makes you. I have a lot of the friends I have are mostly from high school,
Well, I think that there's nothing wrong with that, Chris.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not. it's not, you know, the way our lives go or the way the world goes. It's not necessarily everybody or every friend that you've had for your lifetime is going to be, you know, stay in that role, you know.
Yeah.
And more often it's that we're not the ones that are in control of that, you know. Sometimes you'd like to hang on to a friendship and it just doesn't work because either they don't want to or it just doesn't work, you know. That's just the reality. I think about the people that, or I think about people that I know that get on Facebook and either talk about the littlest things in their lives, you know, at the pet store or whatever the case might be, or they talk about politics, or they talk about high school, you know what I mean? And none of that's bad. It just depends upon who knows you, you know.
Yeah, I've got a blog that I write. It's like that. I don't. I'm not twittering people. I just basically post an audio or a video about myself. It's kind of a daily journal, not a daily, but weekly journal.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, it would take actually, I've had hardly anybody ever comment about the website. So I'm not even sure people don't exist, but it is findable via my main page, the My Truman Show webpage. It is, you got to read and then click on it, and then start clicking on some. So it's not far away. It's just that nobody's ever really told me anything about it. I've had almost absolutely none. About 2 messages come back from it, that website. So if that's the one that people are worried about, that'd be shocking to me, I guess, because nobody's ever really commented about it. But I'm guessing it's the MyTrumanShow.com one. I have the blog has got me. I see what you're saying, but it's almost it's weird. I've got this website that I swear nobody knows exists because I get no feedback from it.
Well, I don't know. It's tough for me to say. I don't know what the goal is. What is the goal of your blog? Is it to get responses? Is it to get your message out? Is it to get what?
Well, it is. It's getting the message out is one, but primarily I think I'm in a show, so I decided I would like to tell my story. In case I ever die, at least people are going to understand what happened to me. That I'm trying to build a legacy here, something for well, like I said, in case something happens to me, that at least people understand that you know what I was going through, and but it is also to get the word out in case anybody wants to know what's going on in my world. They can follow me. It's not like I should almost have a Twitter thing, but it's like that. because I think it's important, my struggles in the legal community, my struggles, all the struggles that I'm going through. And it's also to tell my story in a more personable level. I felt that the writing, when you write, I'm finding that when I write stuff, it's shocking to people. But when I talk to them, it's like nothing is wrong. I could tell them the same story, but when I'm telling it in the voice, it doesn't freak them out. What I'm noticing is that despite the fact that I'm a strange individual, I'm very personable with people. When they get to know me, they will have no problem putting me as a friend on their Facebook. Unless they think I'm evil, which I think is the case for Dan Coffey.
Yeah.
And my brother Aaron Roller, he won't put me on his Facebook either. He thinks I'm evil.
Well, Chris, there are people that have deep convictions about religion and God. You know what I mean? So you have to think that, and there's probably like at least, I'm assuming at least 25% of the world has that. And just your claims on your profile on your Facebook could send 25% of the people just away. No matter how personable you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, with those claims, it would be even more freaky the more personable you are.
Yeah, people at bowling, I'm in the bowling league, and they think that I'm I'm pulling everybody's leg being on disability. They think I'm just mooching out the system because I can, because I'm just playing a system. That I don't even talk about this stuff at bowling. I just with a couple of people. And when I was recently chatting at the end of the season, I'm starting to chat a little bit with them, let them know, and they go, "Yeah, man, you're just playing the system." they think I'm completely normal. And then they don't realize that how difficult I'm for being a talented individual. I'm having a difficult time getting a job again, you know. But it is interesting. It's interesting hearing a comment like that from people. Like I'm just working the system, you know.
Well, that would tell me that that you're getting better, that you're ready to have a job, don't you think?
Well, I am ready to have a job. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I'm, you know, I've calmed down considerably, and also about the website, the blog, is I wanted people to get along with the personality level. I feel a level of credibility now that when it was written, I had my Truman Show website built on words. Now most of my media is video, and I find that maybe the reason why I'm not getting feedback on that blog is because I've earned a lot of people's respect. That I'm not for sure about that yet, but I get the feeling that there's nothing to be criticized, despite the fact that I've got my philosophy on pornography, and I got some philosophy on women that are negative. It's actually done in somewhat taste. It's just that I don't have the highest profile on women, and I try to keep it as real as possible. And nobody's ever said F you roller on your women outfit. Nobody's ever said that. And I've got some other negative things. I think it's because when they see me in my face and they understand that what I'm saying maybe comes from the heart, that they realize that we can't negate what this guy is saying. I don't know for sure on that yet. If people are seeing this thing, I am getting no feedback, and I've got a lot of negative stuff to be said. And that could be why I don't get a job too. But again, I'm not getting any feedback that people are reading this website, so I don't know. But I think I get some credibility from the website. And
Well, can you see how many people have gotten on the website?
I haven't looked lately, but it wasn't much back a year ago. I should look again, I suppose. I've got web trackers. I just gotta. Yeah, I should do that sometime. What I find about that, Nathan, is somehow people are able to view my stuff without actually hitting the web counter. And that means that it's along the lines of a psychic thing. It's like a psychic website. They sort of just know it without ever hitting the website. It's a virtual website. Or if the CIA or FBI are watching me, they would be messing with those counters maybe as I go along to keep me thinking that not many people are watching it. Do you get it?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, that's possible that I'm being tricked, and so, but yeah, and it's possible people are sending me emails that are negative about the website, and then I could say that the CIA or whatever is blocking those, and I choose not to believe that, but I choose not to believe that they're interfering too much. I could believe it's the psychic thing, though, that people are having a sort of a virtual look. My website could be virtually posted somewhere else via they can copy my website. You can download most websites and have a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Great.
It's possible that's occurring too. So. It's a mighty long show, Nathan. If I didn't need the climax to be Seth's death. I really was unexpected. Didn't see that coming.
No, I don't think anybody did, Chris.
And I'm not even sure that's the climax. What I'm saying is that this could be 10 years. If the show of mine exists, and it could be a long time before. How should I say? Before I'm successful at it. I got a feeling that within 5 or 10 more years, we might have something bigger than my sister's death. If it's another 5 or 10 years, and I don't know what that would be though. That's the thing about my show. It's always a surprise.
A lot of people say that about life.
Yeah, it certainly is a surprise. I am noticing some people on my website, though. They mostly are not the religious.
Uh-huh.
The ones that join up with me aren't that religious. So they I guess maybe appreciate that aspect of me. I don't know. I'm not for sure on that.
My first thought would be that, like, I don't know who's religious or not of the people that have not accepted your friendship, but that would be the first question I'd ask.
Yeah. That's probably the notion I should take when. Are you you go to church every Sunday or what?
Yeah.
You do?
Yep. Pretty much.
Wow.
Almost.
And you still talk to me?
Oh, Chris.
Well, it's kind of a joke at the same time. What makes you different than everybody else? All the other religious folks?
Because I've known you since, what, I don't know, 7th, 8th grade, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's why a large amount of my friends are from high school.
That could be.
Because they understand. I know it's, you know.
Hey, Chris.
Huh?
Chris, they know who you are.
Yeah.
Okay? And half of the stuff that you said, I would have expected you to say in high school, right?
Okay. What, that I was God or something? Yeah. Huh?
But you would say out of the blue things just to see everybody's reaction and to get a laugh.
I did that?
In high school?
Yeah, no, I was playing little practical jokes, but, I mean, I'd actually say stuff like that, or what? What was, give me an example.
Oh,
I mean, okay, that's, you don't have to,
yeah, I know, please, come on, that's 30 years ago.
Right. I mean, so I did do that. I was wondering, I mean, I didn't know I did that. I do it, I love that since, I thought it was since high school that I enjoyed doing that. I didn't know I was doing it in high school.
No, Chris, the difference between what would happen in high school and probably early college, right?
Yep.
Is that your steadfast belief that everything that you said is true. See, whenever you do it in high school, like make a joke or just say something out of the blue, or you know what I mean, that doesn't make any sense, or even say something to somebody that might upset them a little bit, right?
Okay.
There would always be the little smile, or you know, the laugh after, or you know, or another comment about somebody else or something else, or another thing completely off topic.
Well, you know, I wish we had video cameras back then. Or actually, even with video cameras today, it would be kind of tough to catch those moments. But you know, those live moments when you're doing something like that. But one day I hope to invent a little magic camera that can go back to the past and videotape each of our lives. You know, and I would love for that to take place, so I can see a little bit of what I was doing back then, because I know I was playing practical jokes because I have I was doing some of that stuff, but as far as playing like little social games where I'm actually trying to get people's reaction, I didn't know I was doing that back then.
Well, and then the other thing is that you made everything personal by naming people from your past as wives. You see what I mean?
Yep.
That personalized it. It wasn't you know, you say that you say that you're God, right? And you're only going to offend the people that have deep religious convictions that are probably over the top with that, right?
Yeah.
But you say that you were married once to somebody, and there's going to be a personal reaction, not only with that person, but anybody that they tell.
Yep.
That's where, you think about politicians, everything that you read in the news about people, and where the difference becomes between joking on somebody or jokes that happen or comments that happen to slander or anything personal. That's where people start drawing the line. You start throwing 20, 30 people and personalize it, it changes the tone. I mean, it changes it in a big way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I found that out when I found that out the hard way.
Oh, I can believe it. But that's exactly...
Yeah. No, I forgot about that. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, I don't think I hardly have any. That might be the Renee Junkie reference, although we were talking on the phone for half an hour or so. She didn't, but that could have been the reference for her. But yeah, I've got like no friends from high school that are women. Oh, there's a few, like Melinda Oaks, but again, these are all maybe people I didn't put on my website. It's possible, definitely. I knew that without you telling me that. I pretty much figured I'd upset especially the class of '85. I think I probably put everybody on there. But at the same time, it kind of goes back to the people knew me, people knew who I was. It's kind of like the God thing. They say, oh, Chris is just doing his thing again. It's the same about the wife thing.
Yeah, unless you're named. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the thing is that there's also a line of, what do you feel? Where is your comfort level? You see what I mean? It might not be that Renee might feel comfortable talking to you because that's the person that she knows, that she's experienced before, that she's been in high school with, right?
Yeah.
But what if 6 people that she has as a friend list are people that you named on that website?
Right. I know. I understand that. And
so there's multiple reasons, but there's also,
Did you get a brochure of some sort from the high school reunion, as far as statements or a pamphlet of update list of what we're doing and stuff? Did you get that?
Recently?
From the reunion. It would have been like 6 months ago.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. In there, I wrote it down. I figured you were kind of making reference to Did you, when they sent out, I don't know if they got a hold of you, but they were asking, okay, give us an update or something you'd like to say to be put into this thing for the reunion if you can't make it,
Oh, yeah. See, no, I didn't get that.
You didn't get that. Oh, I see. Yeah, and so I put in there essentially, what has happened to me, and I basically stated. I should look it up. I probably got it somewhere. I don't know if I can find it quickly here, but I'm not even sure it went in there because they have somebody's doing editing, and I didn't even get a copy of it, even though they knew my address. So I was getting dissed. I was getting disgruntled. They were dissing me, and I didn't know if they even put my stuff in there. But basically, I put in there, you know, I got this my Truman Show. I think I'm Jesus. Whoopsie, I call everybody my wife. Whoops, made a mistake there. I thought that people could be cool about this, and moron. Well, I thought I had more friends out there, not related to the wife thing, but just it's amazing the people that have turned away from me because of this condition, and just and then I fluffed it up and said, you know, I said, you know, I should just find the damn thing. Come on, let's find it. Let me see. Come on, Chris, find it. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, here it is. Whoops. Oh, it says, give us one of your oops or one of your biggest oops or embarrassing made you blush in the past 25 years. So I go, where do I start? Being born, claiming to be God, Jesus. Are you there? Nathan, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, claiming to be God, Jesus, mytrumanshow.com, announcing a presidential bid, claiming to be a stud muffin, including having a harem, many wives. Oh my, there's still more. Fake bomb, school threat hoax. Divorced, oops, had no idea how good a woman I had. Another oops, thinking there's another decent woman out there. Let my kids get out of the country, kept thinking this show of mine will end. Said half my classmates are my babe, including Dave Kamer accidentally. I meant Tim Bundy, actually. Said I was God to a few officials and put on a psychiatric hold. Cage, I call it cage, which is a psychiatric hold, 6 times thus far. Thought people had tolerance toward the strange. Sued David Copperfield. Paternity suit on celebrity singer. Tried to impeach George Bush for conspiring 9/11. Filed a patent on godly powers, the supernatural. Another oops. Thought the legal system actually cared about truth, justice, and vengeance. And that was... And then it says one of the biggest accomplishments in the past 25 years. I'm not sure if this thing ever got published or not, but... I said, think big and it will become. I never said I did it with style, but as the song says, I did it my way, and although rough at times, I'm mostly proud of that. Craig Hillier asked me to stay away from the 20-year reunion. I guess I had alienated myself from my classmates. What I do is extremely odd and somewhat dangerous. If I were to let others' lack of tolerance and negative behavior hinder my grandiose thinking progress, then I wouldn't be as proud as I am. So I'm stating that's one of my proudest accomplishments, is not letting everybody bother me too much. Like today when I'm complaining to you about, you know, my friends. I essentially reverted from that statement where I'm usually not caring about everybody else. Galileo nearly got hung in saying the earth revolved around the sun. The world is full of idiots, and I am a pioneer, and my eccentric thinking can only lead to the biggest ideological discovery this planet will ever witness. I may say some odd things, but I have found I am extremely accurate when I enter the courtroom. As Christopher the Great, a master mentalist, the courtroom is my stage. I am sick of liars, so I implemented the oath, a perjury prevention service. The truth under oath, the greatest thing the planet will ever witness, yet barely witness. It is my ticket to success whenever the usher takes my ticket. So, I don't know if I got published or not, but I just basically acknowledging the fact that I make mistakes, but that I'm trying, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand.
Yeah, Molly got that, made out the contact information. She first of all, she gets on my Facebook as a friend. This is like 6 months before the invitations. So then an invitation in the email shows up. And so I sent her this, and I'm like, so what happens then is that I don't get a copy of. First of all, I'm not. Well, I did not get invited, and then two, I didn't get a copy of this brochure that was supposed to be sent out so I could find out what everybody's doing. And then three, she got off she befriended me. I thought that was kind of, I don't know what she's doing, man. But it could be that a friend of a friend just, said, hey, man, you better get off this friend list. I don't know. I don't know what Molly's deal was, but,
All right, Chris, I'm sorry. I have to go. I have to get my kids to bed.
Okay. Thanks, Ben.
But, yeah, let's talk soon.
Okay.
All right?
Wish me luck.
I will.
I wish
Good luck.
I wish you luck, too.
Thanks.
All
Take
right.
care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.